With an
nice.
R.
I'm
Yeah, dude.
Kyran. I am Ryan's cousin.
Oh man.
But I
Glad
can't.
to
Yeah,
be
this should be
here.
a riot.
This should be hilarious.
Yeah, dude.
When I came in, you just said, "Oh, it's your cousin," over and over again. I'm like, "Does this guy have a name?" Like the other guy had a name. You were just like, "Yeah, my cousin's
What other
coming."
guy? Who are
Like,
you talking
Who are you
about?
talking about? Who is the other guy? The other guy who allegedly has the sickness, the plague.
Oh, the corona. Yeah,
The
we were supposed to
corona.
have another guest on, and he probably has the coronavirus, so
It's good. It's good stuff.
Down with
he'll be
3.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Contingencies.
Kyran, what's up, dude?
Not much, just been busy with work, and then I coach on the side, so that's fun. Been having a lot of fun with that. Besides that,
Just chilling,
just
man.
trying to chill and
You,
make
what
it
do you do
through.
for work? You're a mechanic, right?
Yeah, I'm a mechanic.
Aspiring mechanic.
Yeah, I'm a mechanic at Jiffy Lube. It's not bad. I mean, it was better when I worked at another shop before, but I mean, just gotta find a job and go with it. You know what I mean?
Just gotta make it work, man.
Yeah, dude.
But
Where'd you work before?
before that, I worked at Wyndham Mobile in Wyndham, New Hampshire.
Okay.
It's not bad. I mean, it was a good job. Just didn't get along with the owner, so had to move on.
Small company?
Yeah, it was a small company, privately owned, so just wasn't.
It's a hit or miss, man. When it's
Yeah.
a small
When it's
company.
that small, it's like going.
Yeah.
It's like going to high school again, basically.
Yeah,
That's pretty
no,
much
it
what you
really
do.
is. That's kind of what it was. It was just a lot of work, BS, and
Yeah.
just didn't want to deal with it no more. I'd rather go somewhere where it's
A little more.
a little more just like just
Jiffy Lube
Yeah.
is a countrywide chain, right?
yeah, it's a country.
So a little
yeah,
bit more standardized. And
exactly. There's more like rules and stuff you like abide by, like you go by. So
Yeah. Better to be more streamlined than more decentralized with some guy who's just running around making stuff up.
yeah, exactly.
some guy running around with
It's like
ties.
one week
and
we're doing
ties
this,
around.
next week we're doing another thing. It's like,
And then it's
dude,
always your fault, though. It's never
always
their
your
fault. It's never their
You'll
fault.
tell them, we probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Shouldn't touch it. Like, it's ready for the junkyard. And they still want you to work on it. And it's like, then all of a sudden something else is going wrong that's completely opposite of what you just worked on. Then it's all of a sudden your fault. So
Yeah. Did someone come in with a complete shit box and they're just saying, hey, what can we do here? And in your head, you're just...
I'm just like, just throw it in the junkyard. Yeah, no, for real. That's
Someone comes in with a, I don't know anything about cars, so...
yeah, no.
What's the worst type of car? When someone comes in with this type of car, you just go,
I'm not pleased.
this is going to be a day.
Probably be Scions, older, like certain older model cars, like older BMWs. Pretty much any car that has like electronics comes in, like the newer Lexuses, BMW, Mercedes, stuff like that. It's going to be harder. It's more of a dealership type car.
Gotcha.
So, we most of the time you don't have the
Software.
tools, the software, the tools to work on the vehicle. So
Right.
it's better, just tell them to go to a dealership, and you'll be surprised how many people come in with, cars that, we definitely shouldn't touch. Like, they're brand new cars, and it's like, if you have the money
For
to buy
real?
it, then you
You
should
have the
be
money
able
to
to fix it. Yeah.
But
So,
the weird thing about that, though, is you can get car loans and you can't get a loan on a repair. Most people. Like,
Yeah,
all right,
exactly.
you buy a $40,000 car, you take out a $40,000 loan, you have a $5,000 problem. You need to pay that. You need to pay that mechanic when he
Yeah.
fixes your car. It's not
No,
like you take out a
exactly.
loan. So people just get in over their heads and then they drown, and then all of a sudden the car's not worth what it was when they bought it, and now they're just screwed.
yeah, well, just like any, like, carpenter, plumber, anyone who works in a trade field, you want to pay them for their knowledge. Like, a lot of people think you just pay for the part and stuff like that. So
Absolutely, yeah.
in the end, they'll be like, you just like, oh, why is it this much if the part's this much? Well, it's like, it takes 2
Labor
3
and-
hours
labor
of
and shit, yeah.
And labor's pretty expensive now. It's
Absolutely.
about $80 to $100 an hour. So
For real?
yeah, for most, work. That's why, like, brakes, they're normally like, at most like $250, but they're charging like $300-400. So,
It's
depends where you
reasonable,
go.
though. I mean, when you think about how much money, when people think about their salary from their job, they don't take into account all the benefits that go into it. And I was talking to a guy who was a union operator. He's talking about a Saturday. He's like, oh yeah, I'm not coming in this Saturday because they're not running the equipment. And he was talking about how it's like a $1,500 day. I'm like, dude, shut up. It's a Saturday. We're here for 10 hours. Relax. And he goes through and he starts listing off everything in his pay stub. And he's talking about his pension. He's talking about his healthcare. He's talking about this. He's talking about that. And he was right. It was a $1,500 day to have that guy there. And it just put in perspective how expensive everybody actually is. I mean, people are expensive. Life is expensive. But yeah, it's interesting. It's really.
How do you feel about pensions? I mean,
I have one.
A lot of them are propped up by the private sector, right?
Mine is a private one. I'm the last. Literally, I got hired, and 2 months later, done. No more pensions. So I'm the last generation of people in my company in particular, which is kind of coming up to speed right now. Got a new president, but they're incredible if you get them. If they're privately funded, the publicly funded ones, such as the teachers, are not going to be there. They're just unsustainable. They won't. It's not happening. The numbers don't add up. So don't be stupid. I'm not.
They're definitely diving into Social Security, the government and stuff. I mean, there's no way, right?
It's not there.
There's no way.
It's not. It's
not really there. It's just more like money that they're like, oh, you'll save up, but then once you get older, they're hoping that you forget about it.
What it is they're buying votes. That's what's going on.
They're buying what?
They're buying votes. What politician is going to say to a teachers union, which is a vast number of people in a state, I am ending your publicly funded pension, or I'm going to...
Can you imagine?
You're not getting voted in. So they'll just vote for the person who's going to lie to them and just say, oh yeah, we're not going to touch the pensions. We're going to fund the pensions, not fund the pensions. Just let them have that illusion that it's funded and deal with, and they're out of office in 30 years. They don't care. So just kick the ball down the road. Why wouldn't you? That's the logical thing to do.
I don't know. Yeah, Social Security is kind of seems like a scam.
It's all. It's not there for us.
It's a scam. That's why I don't know. It's like you have to pick nowadays. It's like the two evils. Like the fact that they're not really allowing like a third party. I actually thought that chick JoJo was gonna have a good run. Like,
JoJo.
Yeah, I didn't think that she was gonna win it or whatever. There's always one of the two parties, but. That's what I'm saying. She might have took like 33% of votes or something. You know what I mean? Like,
1%.
1%. Yeah.
And she took 1%. I think the highest a libertarian has taken is Gary Johnson, probably, and it was. I mean, how much?
If you go back 50 years, it was Ross Perot taking. I think Ross Perot ended up with something like 10%. That was in the 90s.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
for a libertarian.
Well, that Ross Perot wasn't a libertarian. He was a truly independent candidate, but that was the last time. And really, all he did was he just threw the election to the Democratic side because he took away from the people that would have gone for Republicans. That's really the problem with that is people feel like they're wasting their vote. In a way they are, in a way they aren't. Like that was a statement that it's possible to have a presence, but at the same time, it did cost people that might have voted in a different direction. It gave the election to the Democrats, which I'm not saying is good or bad, but that was the final outcome. Whatever side you lean towards, you're gonna detract from their base, and you're gonna maybe give it to the other side. So maybe your views get less representation. It's just difficult to pull back from. It's like it's hard to come back from.
Yeah, the Republicans and the Democrats hate when a third party like Kanye West comes in.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just hoping, like, one day maybe it will happen.
A libertarian gets into office, you're saying, or just an independent
third party, just an independent third
Somebody
party,
different,
like the Green Party.
Yeah, just because at this point, like,
the Green Party.
If you look at the Democrats and Republicans, like both parties are pretty corrupt, honestly.
Oh my God, it's not even close.
They're not really.
Joe Biden is changing his shorts every 30 minutes.
Everybody's the same.
Donald Trump is eating fast food 7 times a day. Who's there to vote for anymore?
There's really no one.
Even if you watch like the president debate, it's just like a shit show at this point.
It's rhetoric.
There's no legit arguments or anything. It's just a trash talking event. Like
there's no hope.
Yeah, there's no logics behind it or anything like legit like argument points or nothing. It's just all bullshit.
No. When I was watching the debate, I was just thinking to myself, who is going to shit their pants first?
Yeah, no, for real.
You know what I mean?
Both sad old people who are just done. Yeah, at the end, I wonder how it feels to be at the end of your life and feel like you just stand for absolutely nothing. I know kids who do it, and I'm like, wow, you're pretty spineless, and I don't really know how you really feel about yourself. When you're alone, you look in the mirror or in the morning, at night, whenever you do it, and you're just, all right, who am I?
They don't have mirrors in their house.
They don't have mirrors in their house. I got kicked out of a few classes in high school, but that was worth it. I mean, they said I was like,
I mean, it's high school. What are you learning, really?
Nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing.
exactly. There's a lot more they could be teaching, like, you know, pretty
Trade
much how to
school.
properly list, you know,
Right?
like a trade school. Yeah, like, you know, actual like tools and like what you're gonna use that could actually help benefit your life. You know, because you know, like if you look at the stats and all that, like if you haven't noticed, but like the trade is dying of like everything because everyone wants to sit in an office job.
They
Everyone's
need
lazy.
people. Yeah. They need electricians. They need,
yeah. I mean, electricians, plumbers, stuff like that, craftsmen, you know, they get paid pretty good money. Automotive field and stuff like that, like the medical field, stuff like that, not so much because it's very crowded nowadays.
Yeah.
You know, because a lot of people just want to do stuff like that, like basic jobs. No one really wants to get their hands dirty anymore, but that's why, you know, they're paying a lot more for stuff like that. And, you know, it's pretty interesting because, you know, just...
But it does. You wouldn't. It wouldn't seem that way. I mean, I'm in the same business as you. I'm in construction on the GC end of a pretty major GC, and this month I have 2 people retiring that have been with company for like 40 years, and they're very skilled people. And when those holes open up, they want you to rise immediately because they're just dying for young people because no one wants to do it. It's our age, and I understand why. I mean, I've only been in the business for a couple months, but I get it.
Because, you know, there's social media and all that. Everyone's like, oh, quick ways to, you know, get rich, stuff like that. But there's a lot of ways, you know, you can make money. But, you know, there's some jobs, you know, you don't even got to work a full day. You know, you could work like 6 in the morning, 7 in the morning, till 2 in the afternoon. And still go on with your day, be in bed by 9, 10 o'clock at night, you know?
Yeah, man.
So I feel like there's just a lot of laziness in our generation. I feel like
it's not even close. People are majoring in
business and stuff like that.
I don't know, hieroglyphics of the 15th century. I didn't know they had hieroglyphics in the 15th century.
A 4-year party loan.
I mean, they don't even party. Like, you know, the people with the weird majors, they really don't party either.
I don't know what they do, though.
Stress a major that really there's not jobs in. I feel like if people did a lot more research, they'd notice, you know, where you can really make the money. Because, you know, a lot of people think that you're just going to skip all, like, the hard work and get to buying properties and stuff like that or owning businesses.
You
got to put the work in. You got to put the time, dedication, and, you know, there's stuff like that. Like, for me, you know, you just, like, people follow your dreams. Like, played football. I didn't, you know, go that far, college, anything like that. But
yeah, but you like doing it.
I like doing it. So
you're going to look back on it and...
So, like, stuff like that. Like, I have friends that are in real estate, stuff like that. You know, you got to start somewhere. So I've been saving money with them. They've been looking for investors, stuff like that. And I started my own, like, little football league thing, stuff like that, with a couple other coaches. So we have our own, like, AAU type thing because they don't have that much in the Northeast up here like that. I mean, at least for football, they got baseball, basketball, stuff like that. But growing up, they didn't have that extra stuff for football. So I was like, hey, why not go out and start it? I found some guy that was already starting it, and I was like, hey, you know, can I join and stuff like that? And, you know, it's something I can make a little money here and there on, but at the same time doing something I love. So, you know, just stick with that. Then maybe one day, you know, with my friends and stuff, we'll open a facility and have people like that. But, you know, you just got to get, like, visions and stuff and just go with it. A lot of people do a lot of talking and not go with it, you know? So,
100%. Have you been on Facebook?
Yeah.
You shouldn't be on Facebook.
The reason I deleted Facebook is I think I saw somebody who posted something that was, they said, I think it was this girl, and she was like, I just want everybody to know that I voted for Joe Biden.
Oh, great.
And
one of the, preaching.
Yeah. What do you think about that? What do I think about that? Massachusetts has, nobody cares besides maybe your Nana that lives up north and really doesn't know what's going on. And
still in like the 1920s.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Massachusetts hasn't voted left since 1984. Ronald Reagan.
We're never going
back.
No, that ship has sailed many, many moons ago. I think it's going to be really interesting looking back now when we're the Nana, what
You're gonna be a Nana? You're gonna switch your gender?
I'm gonna switch sides. I'm gonna switch teams halfway through. I mean, why not try both sides of the force? You know,
Transgender Nana.
apparently you
Not
got a
gonna
whole
be
bunch of
in love or something.
Nah, I'll change it to whatever the trendy thing is at the time. I can't believe that when I went to school, I don't even want to do the math. I paid a lot of money to take Sociology 101, and I don't know.
It's like $2,000 a course.
It was a little more than that, I think, but it was right around there. And I have no idea what I learned. I learned that women's shampoo is more expensive. I guess that's good to know. They can just buy normal shampoo. That's all I remember.
I know what you mean. Like, there's a lot of stuff out there where it's like, you know, they got the courses and stuff, but like, you don't gotta pay it. You could learn it on the street at a normal job or something. Like, there's a lot that I learned in school going to college that I'm like, sometimes I wish I didn't go to college because I learned more, you know, building cars, fixing it with my buddies or older, you know, gentlemen that I knew that, you know, had a lot of experience. They'd be like, hey, I got some side jobs I need a hand on. You want to learn something while also helping me out, you know?
Absolutely.
And I learned more in those like 2-3 hours than I did in a 10-week course, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit about where you went to school and what you went to school for?
Yeah, so I went to school in New England Tech in Rhode Island. It wasn't bad. It was an 18-month program. It was pretty difficult when I was down there. It was, you know, at the time they didn't have housing and stuff like that, but even the housing they have now is pretty expensive, you know. Not like any housing's cheap, you know, anywhere you go, but it was, to me, it was cheaper to live on my own and just get a job, like you know, regular job,
just
probably like 35 hours a week, you know.
Yeah.
I was delivery driving at Papagino's. It wasn't too bad. It was just like hard, difficult because, you know, you want like a social life, but also you're going to school full time. You're working almost full time. So, you know, you're sitting there, you're going to class till like 3-4 in the afternoon. Then you got to pick up a shift from like 5 to 10 at night, you know, just to make 5 hours. And then, you know, on a Saturday and Sunday, you're working almost all day.
Everyone wants
it's
pizza
like,
those days. That
you
makes
know
sense.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So it makes
Saturday,
sense
Sunday
to
pizza.
get work, you know, get tips on those days, you know, work weekends, Friday through Sunday. And, you know, obviously after the first year, it's not hard. The first year is always the most difficult when you first, I'd say, living on your own. Most people do it in their junior, senior year if they go to a 4-year program. And, yeah, so in those 4 years, usually your junior, senior year, you get to go to college or whatever. So, and live off campus. And, you know, that's when people first start. But when you're, you know, 18, 19, starting out of high school, you're moving out of state, stuff like that. It was a little tough. Luckily, I had some good friends that I made nearby. And I had some solid roommates and stuff like that. Not coworkers. Coworkers. I had a solid couple. But yeah, people I met at school and stuff, they helped me out with notes and stuff like that. You know, vice versa. If we miss a class, whatever, because we got to pick up a shift out, you know, work, whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you make your best friends in the worst situations. That's what I found.
Yeah, you know, you're in college, you know, you got like $40 to your name for the weekend. You're buying some, you know, whatever, maybe a ticket to an entry at a frat or something.
Cheetos for lunch.
Yes, exactly.
I remember I ate Taco Bell for like 3 days. And by the end of it, I was just in the bathroom. What am I doing with my life?
Who am
You know what
I?
I mean?
You need those moments.
Should I be here?
You need those. Those are the most important things that happen. Man.
Oh
Where
man,
you
just this one time I was in class and this dude just comes in and he says, you know, I fell asleep going to the bathroom before I came in here. It's like,
yeah, definitely it was cool because at school we had like a 15-20 minute break in between the class, so like it'd be like a 3-4 hour class, but in between you'd have you know, 2.5 hours, you get a break, then you got another 2.5 hours, whatever. Some, like for me, in my second year, you know, you had to take like 4 or 5 classes a semester. It's pretty difficult. You're there almost all day. But, you know, you make the most of it. You have kids that, you know, goof off in, you know, the parking lot. They'd be going out smoking in between class, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I went to an automotive school. So for, and just people do burnouts, going down the street to the convenience store in between class, whatever. You got the security guard chasing them like, hey, what the hell? It's stuff's funny.
Do you feel that, so you went to a vocational college, right?
Yeah.
How much did you feel that prepared you for, working in the real world as a mechanic?
Working in the real world. So I went to a technical high school. So from that perspective, being in a technical high school, then going to college, it was pretty easy. I feel like I said, stuff I learned at college I didn't really need, but I learned other stuff, like we had a welding class and stuff like that. I didn't do that in high school. So, learning little stuff like that. They'd have pretty much retired mechanics come in and help us, teach us different tricks and stuff like that. Yeah. That was very helpful, especially when we were in brakes and suspension. The brakes and stuff like that, it wasn't too bad. Just stuff like that, like, it was very helpful.
Yeah, like how, if you had to put a percentage on how ready you felt when you got, a real job working on, like, 50,
well, the thing is, so like I said, I started off at Papagino's my first year. The second year, I was like, you know what, like,
of college, right?
Yeah, of college. Yeah. So I'm like, you know what, like, why don't I just hop in my field? Why am I not working in my field? Like, just one day, I just was sitting there waiting for deliveries, and I was like, like, I'm making enough money I can survive, but like, I want to make some money where I can, fix my car up,
get paid to learn.
Where you
I'm
can
getting paid to learn,
yeah.
so, I want to suit my car up, make it nice looking, have fun with it. Like, why not? Just like carpenters, like they, maybe after a while they want a nice new bathroom or something,
Yeah,
it's just fun, like that. Man. Why not use your trade and your knowledge and do something nice to your own for once?
Yeah, exactly.
So,
exactly.
That's what I was thinking. I was getting down, paying bills and all that stuff. So, like I said, the first year is hard, but after that, it was, it was pretty easy. Like, I lived down in Rhode Island for probably 3-4 years, and those are probably the best 3-4 years of my life. Not gonna lie, I had a lot of fun. It was a lot of, like I said, it was a lot of weekends where you're like, oh damn, I only got $50 to $100, but you made the most of it. You had your friends.
Yeah, you're gonna be talking about those stories for 50 years.
Yeah, of course. Like he was saying before, those are like friends that you make because you're in hard spots. You're trying to juggle everything going on. You're living away from home, so
absolutely,
it was good, obviously a good learning experience. You're living on your own, stuff like that, or you're far away at school, learning to, get down to routine and stuff like that. So it's definitely like good life building experience.
So you lived off campus, right?
Yeah, I lived off campus, so you have a little bit more freedom, but usually you're living in like housing complex or something like that, or it's like a 3-story home. There's 3 apartments in one house. It's 3 stories up. So you have neighbors and stuff. So you still got rules. You can't just be a loud asshole like running around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You gotta just you gotta have respect for your neighbors and stuff. So it definitely teaches you. But I mean, like I said, half the time you're working or out with your friends. You're not really home that often, I'll say, and at least from my experience. No. There's those people who are homebodies that like to get to it and stay in the books. But I like I said, I like to have a social life too. Like get out and get your mind off stuff. Like you don't want to sit there and be stressing. Your tests and stuff like that. Like you got to study.
Done that a few times.
And then you got to study and then whatever. Like because if you overthink it, you're second guessing yourself. Like nah, just get the information down. Yeah. Go out, have some fun, and then go back to studying again the next day.
I think the biggest thing that I took from college was how much more important my time was when I was out having fun, meeting people that I still talk to. Met Ryan my first year.
That's what I'm saying.
Absolutely.
True.
That's really what's important. I mean, the knowledge that is going to be on the test that Monday will come and go. If you get a C in the class, it's really not a big deal. I promise. GPA didn't come up once, ever. I've never had anyone ask me about my GPA in my life, except for my college application, which if it doesn't get asked about then, and even I'm going to probably go for grad school, I'm just going to kill the GMAT. I'm just going to kill no problem. I'm going to go grab my MBA, even for college. Kill the SAT, kill the ACT, spend all your time having fun.
Where are you going for your MBA?
Probably UMass.
Amherst?
probably Mass Amherst.
Amherst.
More than likely. I mean, I'm right
So
there.
not too much fun out there, you know.
Oh, dude, I've been there. I don't know. I'll have to see. I mean, it's probably gonna have to be online because I have a big boy job and I have actual things I need to take care of now, and I have a lot of people relying on me.
Definitely do when you got time, of course.
Yeah, I mean, now is the time. I mean, the farther I get into, the older you get, the more responsibilities you pick up, and then you have a kid, and then that is your life. In my opinion, it should be.
It's true.
That's all your free time, and it should be. You should be working to provide, and then working to build a person. But I don't have any. I just worry about myself.
Yeah, no, we're young. We still got time.
Yeah.
I feel like right now it's like the time. Like I feel like you should go to college if you feel like you got something good. You should go to college for. If not, I definitely say wait. Most people are like, oh, don't wait because you got that year wait. You don't got to go in a year. You could wait 5 years, 10 years, Go for when you think you need, when you actually need an education to farther your career. That's when you should go. That's what I'd say because, like I said, I'm 50-50 on when I went to college. Like I said, I learned stuff to do stuff quicker, stuff like that. But there was also, like I said, classes, stuff like that where I'm like, I already learned that in high school. I don't, like, you know what I mean? If I was coming out of a regular high school, yes, I'd need the college, but I came out of a trade school, so it's more like, if you go to a trade school, I definitely double think before going to college. Do I really need to go to further my skill? Like, can I take a class that just is on that subject I need, or like that specific job that I need a training on?
Could you go get a welding cert at a community college? I think the big thing is ask the employer. Ask who you want to work for. I mean, if you're going to go to college, you better... I would hope that you have a rough idea what you want to do.
Exactly.
I mean, you knew exactly what you wanted to do. I went in my freshman year. I don't even remember what I was. I was finance, and then I was business, and then I kicked myself. And I'm like, all right, this was all in the course of about 3 months. I looked at my jobs. It was like, okay, what can I do? I can do realistically. I can do a trade, or I can do computer science. Though that's what it came down to, or engineering. And I wasn't going to do I wasn't going to be like a chemical engineer. I didn't find that interesting. So I ended up in construction because I just looked at my options. All right, what can I actually get a job in? What will I actually enjoy? And what you're talking about earlier, might as well own properties. There's only so much land. I mean, I didn't want to get into continental crust and things like that. But bottom line, we're going to be okay. If you buy land largely in an area that has some sort of economic pulse, you will win long term. If you just own it,
of course.
You stay calm. So I picked up the oldest business that there is. I mean, you read all those history books about people fighting and dying over land, king's sons killing each other to inherit all his land. I figured, hey, I don't even have to kill anybody. I can just buy it. And then I'll know all about it. I'll be able to build it, destroy it, whatever I need to do.
Exactly.
I mean,
It's your land. No. That's what I'm saying. But, you got to get to that point. That's why I say, like, if I didn't go to college, I might have extra money, aside right now. You know, could have went to community college, like you said, to get like welding certification, stuff like that. I didn't have maybe take a diagnostics class for automotive to diagnose like those big fancy cars like Mercedes and BMW, stuff like that. But
how do you feel about question 1, Massachusetts?
The right to repair.
I didn't.
The right to repair. Yeah, it's just basically can dealerships have a monopoly in repairing their own cars after they sell them, or does the person who buys a car have the right to choose where they repair it? Like on your iPhone, you don't own the software that's on your iPhone.
Yeah, no, iPhone owns it. But for question 1, I'd say I feel like once you own your car, it's your car. Like someone shouldn't have a say on where you should get it fixed. You have a buddy like me who can, put something in that's much cheaper, you might only need to pay me like $100 versus a dealer. They're like $400.
And they know they have the market cornered at that point. At that point, you can only go there.
You can, like I said, if you have an expensive car like Land Rover, BMW, Mercedes, Lexus, stuff like that, you should have the money to fix it at the dealership,
So.
That's, they mostly nowadays they make just software that only they have. If you want to buy it, it's a couple $1,000s. So most mechanics aren't like, let me dish it out, because if it's only going to be like that for a couple of year models, and then they're going to switch the software again
to make more money.
Exactly. So I've been noticing stuff like that with the dealership. So instead of sitting there stressing yourself out, might as well just, X those out of your garage. There's just stuff like that I've looked into. Obviously, I took classes like, instead of math and stuff like that we had in college, it was more like, owning a business. So like, oh, we gave you $25,000 loan.
Sure.
What are you going to buy to put in your shop? You already bought the shop and the land, It's just at this point you got a loan to get tools. What are you going to buy? It's stuff like that they put in our heads. So it's like you actually got to critically think, like, as a business owner, maybe they, out of high school, you're pretty smart. Like, I had a kid, JR, he actually switched out of that to go into mechanical engineering.
Sure. Yeah.
So that's
most popular engineering major.
By
far.
Well, the thing is, he bought like a 3D printer, stuff like that. He was just a very smart kid like that. He just wanted to, he just science. He just wanted to learn a lot, about new stuff. Like, they were like, oh, you can make a gun out of, freaking 3D printer with the plastic. He wanted to try stupid stuff like that. He made like shift knobs, ashtrays, all. He was just messing around with the thing, but we're all like, dude, like, why are you messing around with cars if you can do all these equations and stuff like that? Why not go do something,
sure,
in your bracket of, what you can do instead of waste your talents and just turning a wrench. You know what I mean? Go build the cars.
Yeah,
make the cars.
Yeah, design the parts for the car.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
there's a place for everybody.
You just got. I feel like that's another thing with life is like a lot of people nowadays are just trying to tear them like everyone down. Like, build your friends up. If you feel like they're wasting their talents or they're better off somewhere else, like, tell them. You know what I mean? Speak up. Like, help everyone out. Like, instead of sit there and be like, oh, like, me and you are about the same IQ. And then I'd be like, F you, no, we could work together to make something amazing.
Yeah,
I mean?
Absolutely.
No, seriously.
So, there was a lot of that I feel like I saw in college, a lot of people being like, oh, I'm trying to be top dog in that class. Well, why not help everyone else get A's, Like,
it's so silly, man. It's so silly. The competitiveness is so backwards because it's like, all right, so now you've alienated I don't know how many kids were in your class, but let's just say like a normal class, just in grade school, 30 kids in your class. Mm-hmm. You're the number one kid in that class. Congratulations. You are now alone at the top, and you alienated 29 people who are going to grow into adults and have opportunities. Mm-hmm. I mean, the people that I've been friends with my whole life, we're all grown. We all did different things. But if I call them and I say, hey, I'm in a tough spot, let's figure something out, and you have a good reputation, that's how you move. That's how you live your life and be successful. Yeah.
It's all about making the, I feel like, connections, getting out there, webbing with people,
absolutely,
branching yourself out there. There's many ways you could put it, but I just feel like that was like a main thing in college is like, I might not have been the smartest, but I was friends with that kid. His name's JR. Shout out to him. But he was definitely, a brilliant kid. He had, roommates that weren't, the brightest. They were like me. They were good at turning a wrench. We knew our ins and outs of a car, but he definitely had like his different ways of doing things and stuff like that were way better than us, and he'd help us out. So that's why I say that because there was a lot of people who were, like I said, smart, but they would sit here and kiss the teacher's ass instead of. We're all here to try to get to the next class without failing. We're not here trying to be like, fuck everyone else. It's just me moving on. No, like, because especially, obviously, we're in automotive, there's group projects and stuff like that, They're like, hey, you got to build and disassemble an engine or whatever, all right? So we had an engine class, and that was our project.
You completely disassembled an engine and put it back together?
Yeah, so they gave us...
that's pretty cool.
At New England Tech, they have a bunch of cars that, they're donated to the school, whether they be brand new or, they're from 1999 or something.
Sure, yeah.
So, they would give us all different vehicles and models and stuff like that and be like, all right, so you four are on this car, you guys got to take it apart and put it back together, and hopefully it works.
Hopefully it works.
But
did they make one of you drive it on the highway?
No, or we just tested on the back road. Sometimes we didn't even do. We just hooked it up. We started it, made sure it drove like in the parking lot, came back in. That's it. Nothing too crazy.
Did one group's car fucking explode?
Not that I know of. Not in my class, at least. We were pretty solid.
Mm.
Like I said, we pretty much, like, I feel like my group was pretty good. We worked together, but I was friends with older people where it was more like there's groups like, people just like grouped up and that was their group. And it's like, maybe if they sprawled out and worked with different people, it would, their whole class would have succeeded versus, a couple of groups.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I feel like that's the way we looked at it. We looked at it as, we had people from all different age. Like we had this guy who he did two tours in the Army, and he was 28 in our class, and the rest of us are 18, 19.
Kids compared to him,
sometimes
yeah.
20. But he was definitely older. But he was in the military. He worked on Humvees and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool. Like just the different people. We had different backgrounds, stuff like that. So it definitely helped out when we all switched around, worked together, because he might have a trick or two working on that. If we were working on a truck or something like that, he would be like, "Oh, that's similar to what I was working on. Let me try something," and then it'd work.
Dad, what are you making?
Yeah.
Yeah, like my first job experience, I was a data scientist in Cambridge at a biotech company. And I thought it was going to be laid back, and I walk in the first day and just sitting at my desk, downloading all the software and stuff on my Mac. And all I hear in the conference room is these like two Indian guys arguing. This is not faster. It is faster this way. And, dude, Indians take their data science very seriously.
Dude, everyone takes their data science seriously. That's a multi-million-dollar.
Oh my God.
Trillion, that data is everything. Data's you're the product.
The job.
Yeah, well, data's the internet. I mean, that's why we have Facebook. That's why we have Twitter. That's what YouTube is. You're the product.
Yeah, Google knows you better than you know yourself.
Basically. Yeah, if you use it enough. Which is terrifying when you think about it. I mean, there's no check on Google. This is
what you like.
And here's all the.
And you're like, no, I don't.
Do you ever talk?
They're never wrong.
I've never surfed in my life. Why am I? Yeah. Have you ever talked about something with your friends, and it later, maybe like a week later, pops up as an advertisement?
Not even it, like
a day
2
later.
minutes
the
later.
Next day.
No, like
just talking about something.
I just had a conversation on the phone. Boom! I hang up. I go on Facebook probably like 4 or 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
What's right there as an ad? What I was just talking about.
On a phone call?
So it'll be like, hey, I need a new skillet. My old skillet, is pretty in rough shape. Then you hang up, you go on it, first ad, hey, kitchenware. It's a skillet.
No way.
Yeah,
really?
For real.
Did you not hear about what Snowden put out 10 years ago? They're listening to everything.
I mean, I did, but that wasn't for advertisements and stuff. They were just listening in on everybody.
You sell that stuff eventually. That stuff trickles out. I mean, if it's worth a lot. It's worth a lot to know what somebody wants. I mean, national security wise, that's just the tip of the iceberg.
Just breaks down, what you're looking for and everything,
And he wasn't even college educated or anything, right? And he had access to everything. No. I think he went to community college for a little while.
If you go into the military, the ASVAB's...
Yeah, you're going to learn some software.
You're going to figure it out. I mean, if you're really a bright person, it's largely an IQ test. The ASVAB. You can study for the components of it that are part of a trade, but there are sections of it that are just going to test your general intelligence. And if you're really bright, they will get you on a track to where you will max out. This is what you can do.
There's cutoffs, right? For say you want to do a certain profession, you have to have a certain ASVAB score.
Yep, you have to have a general score, like a general. God, I took it. I just thought I took it just to have it as an option.
You took the ASVAB?
Yeah, took it in high school.
Is it like the SAT?
It's really not that hard, in my opinion. I mean,
it's pretty simple.
It's pretty straightforward.
I feel like it is because they're trying to get more people in the military by day. I mean, how many people? I feel like at least once a year I have a recruiter trying to add me on Facebook or something.
Oh my God, and they message you?
They message you, hey, you think about joining the military? Like, if I do, I'll let you know.
I like how they try to talk to you like they know you.
It's kind of weird.
Hey Ryan, it's been a while. Wait a minute, Sergeant Snickers. I've
Sergeant Snickers.
I've never talked to you in my entire life. Eh?
It's really odd because I have friends that wanted to be in. And when they were going, when they were being recruited or in the recruit phase, the whole thing just sounded so like dystopian. All right, like my recruiters need to come in today and we're going to talk about my bonus or how it's going to work and whatnot. And I've heard a couple stories where they just lied. They straight up just did not tell the truth.
Oh,
I've heard that. I've heard that before.
They're just gonna bullshit you to get you in.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I have a lot of friends in the military. You know, there's a lot of stuff they can talk about. There's a lot of stuff they can't. But
yeah.
The most general I get out of it is it's not bad right now. We're not at war, so like a lot of people are sitting around at a base just on watch, whatever. For the most part, you know, you got watch Monday, Tuesday, Friday, whatever.
Isn't that crazy?
You're off.
We're
But it's
not at war.
16-hour shifts. Yeah, I know.
When's the last time
Afghan war, and we're still getting people out of
that has happened?
Afghan, Iraq, all that.
That shouldn't be as shocking as it is.
Right?
The fact that we're surprised that we're not at war, it should be completely the other way around.
I feel like it's a good and bad thing because like it could be a bad thing because you know it could be someone could be brewing against us. You know, like another 9/11 type deal, or
That's what the CIA's for.
you know, Omaha, whatever the hell, you know, stuff.
Foreign affairs.
I don't worry about those things
Pearl
because
Harbor bombing, stuff like that.
that will never
Crazy.
happen now.
Crazy.
I
It definitely could.
Definitely not. There's too many satellites and stuff. I know what you mean.
Think so?
remember you were talking about how they were asking you, but there was an advertisement for your skillet 2 seconds later. There's also, I'm sure that the same people that it's out there that the government's listening to everybody basically everywhere. So if they want to stop it, they can stop it.
I mean, most people just put all of their stuff online anyway, so it's easy. You really don't have to. You can just look at someone's
no one really
Twitter
hides
or.
stuff. I mean, most people who are going to war or whatever, like war, mostly like gang bullshit stuff like that. Most of the time, they're listening, they're watching, they're just waiting for it to go down or whatever to go down, and then then they'll come in because the evidence is there, all that. They might even stop a rape before if they're good enough.
Yeah, well,
So
that's
just stuff like that. Like you're saying, they're listening.
you won't hear about it though. I mean, that's what the CIA is for.
It's all
Yeah,
quiet, it's all hush hush.
it's
but,
perfect though. I think it's great. I mean, I'd rather have that than home. I mean, great. I'm glad that my friends have the military as an avenue to advance their lives. I'm also glad that they're not out there. There's less people out there sweeping for IEDs, getting blown up, getting shot. I'd rather,
because there's so much stuff like, and like I was saying, my friends in the military, they're mostly sitting on base, but a lot of them didn't sign up for that. They wanted to go to war, They grew up, watching and playing with G.I. Joes and stuff like that, playing Call of Duty. They're like, I want to go undercover and,
but
go and do secret operations.
That's what's hard,
and
man.
stuff.
I mean, when you're 18, you're an adult legally, but you don't know anything.
Oh my,
Yeah,
not
no, I
even
know
close.
exactly.
Sure, when
Yeah.
they signed up, like, hey, I want to go Army infantry for.
But you're signing
4
up for
years,
4 years,
which is insane. And then 4 years, you can get your.
It's a long time.
You're just getting
Yeah,
thrown
you can
around
get called
wherever.
back.
Yeah,
You can get called back.
Everything is an 8-year contract. Doesn't matter if you go 2x6, 4x4, 6x2. It's all 8 years.
Well, no, one thing I've noticed is like my friends who are in the military who traveled, they love it. But the ones who are stuck in state, like in California, Texas,
Sure.
the Carolinas, wherever the hell, whatever base
They get stuck.
they're, like I said, they're stuck on shift watching. It's cool overseas because your downtime, you're learning about a whole different culture,
Whole new
stuff like that.
adventure.
So,
Yeah.
exactly, like it's an adventure. It's fun. You're like, oh damn, I'm in another country. Like
It's surreal.
I'm in a different life. You know what I mean?
You're,
That's what
you're
it
actually
feels
an adult
like.
now.
Yeah.
You actually did something. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but if you're not, you're just in California. Like, you feel like you're just partying and bullshit, doing the same shit you were doing in high school, pretty much. You know, instead of going to class, you're going on shift, sitting somewhere for a couple hours. But, I mean, it's all pretty much, I feel like, what you make of it, just like most of life. Because
Absolutely.
at the same time, like, I have a couple of friends who, they use their military to their advantage. They saved up money, lived in barracks and stuff like that. And
That's what
now they own a couple properties.
Oh, really?
That's brilliant. Yeah.
Because what you do is, one of my friends down in Virginia, he taught me is when you go in, when you go get a loan, when you've been there for a year or two, the percentage that you got to pay back is almost nothing. Like, you know what I mean? You're just pretty much paying for the house. Like,
there's no
the
real
percentage added onto it, you don't got to pay.
What's the interest?
So I'm saying the interest, I
Very low?
couldn't tell you because obviously it's like top secret, whatever. It's military, but pretty much he said it's almost nothing. And after a while, after you paid a certain amount, you can switch it into like a regular loan, and then you can go get another military loan. So then you have 2 loans for 2 different houses. So it's like you're building a capital over time.
Sure. Yeah, it's a VA home loan.
Yeah, that's what it's
I'm sure I'm sure you can look it up. I know most of the stuff in the military financials isn't publicly available, not a ton of it, but if you want to look into the COLA, which is cost of living allowance, that varies from county to county. That's public information. If you want to look into VA home loans, I'm sure that we could get the interest rate on that. There's a reason that the military can recruit people. It's because if you do it correctly and you use it as a platform to set up your life, you can have a very successful life. You also give up your life potentially, whether it be physically or mentally. So it depends upon what situation you're in. If you have nothing, join the military.
Yeah, the earlier the better too. If you join like the what is it, ROTC?
ROTC is going to make you
that's
an
another
officer.
bonus.
Helps you,
that's another bonus right
there. You're
there.
an officer going straight in.
That's another bonus. You go to college, you have a bachelor's degree.
That is the number one source of scholarships.
Right. You start off making what, $3,000 a month, $4,000 for military starting out.
And just like we said
that's
earlier,
a lot of money.
That's not including benefits, which in the military is insane. You need to think
insane
about that.
benefits. Yeah. You get married, isn't that another bonus?
Right?
Yeah, especially if your spouse is in the military, you're almost doubling what you guys are making. It's crazy.
It is crazy. It's crazy, but there's a reason that not a lot of people. When we sit here and talk about it, and you do it on paper, it is. I should be in the military.
It's just like
that's what it tells you.
It's like regular life. Like you can save money and invest it in stuff that's going to make you money over time, or you could just blow it on partying and bullshit.
And that's the problem. That's what I was going to say. Once you actually are in there, there's a reason that so few people make it to 20 years because life is not on paper. But if you need to just grind out 3 years to at least have the resources on the piece of paper instead of just having it be blank, there you go. That's what you need to do.
There's lifelong benefits for just doing your 4-year bid, right?
Yeah, you get like we were talking way earlier in the podcast, like you get those 401ks, stuff like that. So, you get those long-term benefits, but if you tap into that early, you're not going to have shit, later in your life. I mean, some people retire at like 45, 50. And then, by the time they're 70, they're like, shit, I got to work at Home Depot the rest of my life instead of,
actually enjoying yourself.
Just actually enjoying yourself in Florida or, California somewhere.
Old people places.
Florida, man.
Exactly.
Florida, the old people, it's bad.
It's crazy.
Have you seen people drive in that state?
I have not.
I
have.
next month.
And there are a couple times. It's
my Nana hit a wall down there, literally just a garage wall. That gives you an idea how. Well, I mean, that's anecdotal, but still, she literally was in a garage and she just drove her car into a concrete wall.
When you hear about somebody that literally
awful
drives through the drive-through of a bank or a McDonald's trying to get that 2 for $4 special or whatever, it's in Florida. I mean, come on.
It's like it has the craziness of South America bleeds into Florida, and I love it.
A lot of Cubans.
A lot of Cubans. I would, well, I mean,
that's why they vote red.
I can't.
Yeah,
that's why Florida's red a lot
because
of
communism.
The Cubans.
Still, which it hasn't been that long. It's only been a generation, if that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm definitely excited to go down there. I got a football tournament down there.
Oh, for real? How long are you going?
I'm going for 10 days.
That's a good amount of time.
I'm going the 3rd to the 13th of December. I'm going for like a pretty much it's just the best of the best of everything. We're going to be Northeast, so it's like Mass, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Vermont, Maine, like all those areas. We made one solid team of the best of the best, and we're going to go down there versus Florida teams, Texas teams, California, see what we can do against
awesome.
them. Yeah.
It sounds like a good time.
But there's some downtime. We got some days off, so definitely looking to, see the area.
Hit up Disney?
What part of Florida? Because Florida's a big, like, all right, United States in general is big, but
it's about an hour from Orlando,
massive.
45 minutes from Tampa.
Gotcha. So you're like, you're down, okay.
It's I'm trying to think of what it's called. I'm trying.
That gives you a gauge because there's a lot of like Jacksonville versus Miami
it's the
versus...
east. It's the east coast of Florida. So It's gonna be cool. I think we're only like 20 minutes from the beach or something like
For
that.
kids.
So.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I mean,
in
it's a red
December.
state
That's
right
gonna
now.
be a good time.
Yeah.
It's a red
You're gonna
state
have a
right
good
now,
time.
so we'll see. But like you said, it'll be December, so maybe people will be home for the holidays. It'll be more inside, whatever. Drop down to yellow states, so
Yeah.
maybe we can enjoy more than just a pool at the house we're staying at, stuff like that.
Yeah, man.
But now I plan on going it with my 15U team. It's 14, 15-year-olds, and they're all like freshmen, sophomores. They're all very serious about what they do football wise. So
Yeah.
it's not like I gotta worry about them fucking around and shit like that. Like they all know it's like a business trip. We're trying to get noticed by scouts, stuff like that. So
Absolutely.
So college scouts are down there
Yeah.
looking.
Well,
Wow, that early, 15.
Well, yeah, 14, 15 years old. They're
Wow.
freshmen, sophomores.
They're almost done. Yeah, they're almost in college.
They want to see what their skill is, and then they're going to follow them through their high school career and see
Yeah.
what they can do if, they flop or if they succeed. That's why I tell the kids, I'm like, like, it's cool to party and bullshit in high school. Everyone does it. I mean, who doesn't? Everyone does. But,
Yeah.
Varying extents, yeah.
you got to do it to an extent where, you're not jeopardizing your career and stuff like that. You're not showing up hungover to games or whatever.
Opportunity
it is.
cost,
So,
man. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Or you're, intoxicated at games or whatever. Like, I've heard some
Has
crazy
that
story.
happened? Someone just shit faced.
I've seen it at games in high school. I haven't done it
man.
myself. I've seen it, I've heard about it. Just stuff like that. Just, and it'd be like good athletes too, you're like, damn, you're gonna really jeopardize your career. Like, what if you get caught by the head coach or a referee or something? Like,
What's
you're fucked.
weird about that is I would play basketball and I'd be very decent. I was never great, but I was respectable.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would go play sober with the team. Just could not get it together. Went to a game drunk.
You did?
I went to a game flat out drunk. Scored like 30 points. No, I'm kidding. I wish I was kidding. Never did it again. But
Like, if I did.
I never did it again because I was like, okay, it's the reason I've never done any sort of stimulant.
Halftime.
No, I was good to go. I was good to go for the whole game. It was
This kid's dunking and he's eating sandwiches on the bench.
Makes you relax. It
He's
calms you
eating
down.
hungover pizza on the bench.
It's this,
Frozen hungover pizza.
dude. I was known as the pajama pants guy because I'd walk into the games with pajama pants over my shorts, and I would just go.
You know what's crazy? I have a lot of kids who show up to practice like that. They'll wear, they'll have their football pants on, all the pads and all that,
Yeah.
and then they'll put pajama pants over. And I'm like, dude, what do you do? Like, sleep in your pants, and then you decide to show up to practice?
Dude,
at
it
the
was
game?
just
Like,
cold for me because I was wearing shorts underneath. But for
that's what I'm
football,
saying,
I don't
but,
know.
like,
It's a
you
little
don't wear
weird.
sweatpants then?
I
Like,
don't know.
get it. I've never done
Yeah,
it.
pajama pants.
It was
I mean,
just-
it's
it was-
comfortable, I guess.
I-
warm
Yeah,
and fuzzy. I don't know.
if you're wearing the football pads too. Is it
did
really comfortable?
Football, I don't know. In basketball, I did it once. And
But
then
yeah,
it
you're
was,
just wearing shorts underneath.
you're not having fun, man. It's cold, and especially in an old, crappy
It's
school.
Usually winter, yeah.
Yeah.
How many people went to your school?
Which one? High school?
Yeah, high school.
Couple thousand, probably 2,500, 3,000.
Same.
Where'd
Yeah.
you go?
I went to BR, Bridgewater Regional, and I actually,
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't have a
I
great
went
time
to,
in high school.
Great Little Tech. It was the
Yeah.
same. I had about 2,500 kids.
That's a good, I think it's a good number. I think it could be a little bit less, but it's a decent amount of, you can find people that you click with.
Well, I feel like that's the thing is like there's so many different people and stuff like that. It's almost great because,
yeah.
that's society.
Yeah, because
There's
that's life,
millions of
yeah.
people.
Your school was also a regional high school.
Yeah,
like
it
mine.
was like
so
five different
towns
yeah.
at one high school. Walking in
Wow.
the first
So
day, it was weird,
There's
huh?
a lot of personality in the school.
That's
Yeah.
really cool. You got 5 different towns.
Yeah,
'Cause
walking in at 14 on the first day, and you know
everyone remembers their
you-
first
you
day.
know,
High
like,
school.
you know, a fifth.
I'm from Lowell. Where
Yeah.
you from? Oh, I'm from Tingsboro, Dunstable.
Yeah, it's a little weird. And then
whatever, yeah.
I don't know how Greater Lowell works, but at Shawsheen, you go through 12 shops your freshman year
Yeah,
every other week.
pretty much. It was like every 3 weeks you're rotating. I wouldn't say about 12. I'd say more about like 9, 8, 9. You pick
8, 9 shops.
You pick those shops you want. They'll be like, they'll mix it.
They let you pick
based on,
the shops freshman year that you want to go through?
Yeah, well, more like 8th grade, when you take the test to get into the school.
Right.
They're
the
like,
test.
hey, what shops do you want to go to our
What are
school
you
for?
interested in?
Why
Yeah.
are you coming to our school? What do you want to go for?
That's reasonable.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Do you guys also have an interview?
it's more like a test. You got to take a test, and if you pass it, and based on that test is what shops, you wrote down
What's
on your
available.
top.
Yeah.
They'll probably have about 20, 24 shops. They're like, hey, what's your top 10? What's your top 12?
Right.
And then you write it down, and then you take your test, and based off your scores, that's and what you said you want to go to, that's what they throw you in. So
That would scare me. I went to a standard high school, but that would scare the hell out of me if I'm like, all right, I really want to be an electrician, and then that's your number one shop, and that I'm just picking that because I feel like that's gonna be a popular shop, and then you
Very
don't-
popular shop.
you
popular,
don't
yeah.
get
Very popular
Very
shop.
popular shop.
and you
Like,
don't
girls
get
even choose
electrician. I'm sure.
Yeah.
That's a
couple
that's
girls.
it's a decent union job, especially around here.
Of course.
But if you don't get it, now you're at a trade school. You didn't get the trade you want. I'm not saying that you can't find another trade. I'm just like in college, you go
Hey,
pick your major. That's it.
I wanted to go to school for engineering.
Yeah,
I did not know till I graduated we had engineering in my school.
that's crazy.
Greater Lowell has engineering.
You had to have
Damn.
above an 80 on your entry test, and then on top of that, you have to be in honors.
Okay.
What
For, like,
engineering?
English, math, all that.
Just your basic
What engineering
classes,
do you
yeah.
have? Is it just like a general
Just a
engineering
general
class?
engineering. They give you a bunch, like each year, it's like they throw something different at you.
Cool.
Just like, you went to school for engineering, so it's more like a bunch
Yeah,
of
still in school.
different formulas and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's more what it is, breaking down.
They called it pre-eng at my school. It was just like general shit. Just
general engineering. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. They throw a little bit of everything at you, and they're like, so when you go to college, there's all these different engineering classes. You
Yeah.
gotta choose what you want, and that's when it's
Yeah.
like, oh shit,
Dude, there's some serious weed out classes. And when you go to college engineering, there's at least 2 to 3 classes that are 40% do not make it through these classes, whether it's, and they do it on purpose because
Absolutely.
they want
That's
they
crazy.
want the reputation. They don't want some dude that's picking his nose in the back row and
Oh, of course, they want someone who knows what they're talking about.
yeah, exactly.
That was like my college. There was actually a 40% dropout rate. I
The
actually
whole college was
I had a roommate
Holy
where he
shit.
didn't even last a month in college.
What happened though?
My first roommate, so that's what I mean. My first year was hard.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it's really all based on your everything. But so there was a big group of, when you first go there's a big group of us. We're looking at places you want to live. You choose where you want to live, and then based on that, it's like, all right, these kids in your like showing of places to live, want to live at the same place you choose. All right, so then you talk to them. You figure out which roommates you feel like you'd work with better, based on how you live your life.
Sure, just
whatever.
who you are as people. Yeah.
Just general. Hey, like
Right.
What are your interests? Stuff
Are
like
you
that.
are you get a party
Are you
every
gonna
weekend?
kill me in your sleep or not? You know what I mean?
yeah,
sometimes
you're gonna eat my leftovers. Are you gonna
Yeah.
clean your dishes?
Yeah.
All that nonsense.
You have very real life conversations. And then I had this kid who he came from money, stuff like that. So I was like, oh, he's gonna be a good roommate because if he screws up, because
Oh, his parents can bail
Was he
him.
crazy?
I see
Parents can
your
bail
thinking.
him,
Was
so-
he crazy?
No, it wasn't
Really?
even that. It was more like he just, he was a mama's boy. He wanted to be back home. He missed home. He realized college isn't a party at New England Tech. It's, we're very
You're
serious.
there to
It's-
learn. Yeah.
It's an 18th month program wherever you go. Like, you're not there to fuck around. You're there.
Right.
You're there to buckle down, get your shit done. I mean, there's party schools in the area like URI. Yeah. What's it called? Johnson of Wales.
Amherst,
Sure.
UMass Amherst is a big party school.
and
Yeah.
Providence, that's a
Well,
long
Providence,
way.
that's a
3
trip. That's
hours.
why
Man.
I'm
Oh,
saying-
yeah.
You got 11 colleges in a 20-mile radius.
Yeah. You're good.
Yeah.
You're good to go.
Yeah, you
You're
came to
good
Dartmouth
go.
a couple
Yeah,
times, right?
Dartmouth wasn't bad. That was a good visit.
The Dirty D.
The dirty D.
The dirty-
Going back there is grimy. I love
But,
it.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so the kid just, realized, this is some real shit that I don't want to get into, and
It's not for
he
everybody,
wanted to
man.
party. That's why most people go to college. But at the same time, like I said, you want to go to college when that's what you want to do, or
Yeah.
that's you need to actually go there to get the education to further your career.
You need
stuff
to
like
be on
that.
your
Yeah.
timeline.
You need to be on your shit pretty much.
The problem is there are some majors that you can just skimp by and do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah,
but when it comes to
trouble.
engineering and stuff, no, they're gonna weed you out freshman or sophomore year. They're gonna
No, exactly.
everybody junior year that's in that program either has a trash GPA or they know what they want to do with their life.
Well, that's why we had a 40% dropout rate at New England Tech, because a lot of people are like, oh, there's all these party schools nearby. We're gonna bullshit. No, like, if you're not passing, they're coming down to your class and be like, hey, we got to talk to you up in,
Up in
No
administration.
way.
in class.
For real?
Yeah.
And be like,
Wow, man.
you got to stay 15 minutes after, whatever. And then you sit there, wait for your turns to talk to the teacher, and you're like, hey, you're failing. Like,
Yeah.
this is what you got, this is what you gave me. Because some people wouldn't hand in the homework, and the homework was easy. It was multiple choice questions, 10 to 15 questions, or 20 questions most.
Damn.
And, you could... I wouldn't say you could cheat, but like, if
Google
you
it,
don't got a
man.
textbook,
I mean, it's multiple choice, yeah.
if you don't got a textbook, you could Google, the topic, look it down a couple of sentences, get the grasp of it. If you don't, then you don't, and that's when you got to stay after and talk to the teacher. There's multiple ways that you could help yourself, but some people just wouldn't help themselves, and
It's so interesting.
then they're
Yeah.
failing out, and they fail at once. They're like, I don't want to take the class again, so they just drop out, and
Damn.
How
How many people go to New England Tech, if you had to guess?
I'd say there would be about 120 a subject. There's about 3 different classes for that subject. They do it at different times. Like, we have brakes and suspension, then you have welding, and then you have like history of the automotive.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. And then
Oh, really? You guys dive into history?
But then
That's pretty cool.
And like how like Ford, made the first car and stuff like that.
Oh, that's awesome,
But,
man.
Absolutely.
stuff like that, and pretty much. And then other people have like the history, then welding, then brakes and suspension. It all like rotate. So, but
So how many people do you, like, a few thousand?
that's what I'm saying.
or-
Like a couple hundred in each
Wow. Okay.
each subject. Like I wouldn't say a couple. I'd say probably 200 at max.
Sure.
But you're like I said, like it's like going to a technical high school and a regional. There you got 5 towns trying to get into. You got to take a test to see who's capable.
Yeah,
That's
man,
crazy.
that was a
Stuff
bit
like
stressful
that.
taking that test for high school.
For
And,
college.
I
it
can
was
only
hard.
imagine it's probably
For
for
college,
college.
you got to take the test, you got to pass it, then you talk to the one of the deans, and then once you talk to the dean, it's like, hey, this is my schedule. Can you work around it? If not, I got to do what I can, because they had night classes, midday classes.
right.
Most people wanted to go in the early morning, get their shit done, go to work. But some people are built different. They're like, I'd rather work and then go to class because I'm more focused after work.
After a week, yeah. I would touch on what you said earlier about going to party schools. You do not need to go to college to go to college parties.
Yeah.
People don't
No.
seem to get that.
It's tens of thousands
Yeah.
of dollars, man. You
But-
can't.
Just a waste.
If you
That's what
want
I'm
to go
saying.
for fun, all right, maybe go get a simple job. Go work at a grocery store. Go work at like Costco.
And then go visit your friends who are in college.
Exactly. And
That's what I'm saying. Because
Yeah.
I went to New England Tech, but I had a cousin on my dad's side that went to Johnson & Wales. Johnson & Wales is a huge party school, you
Yeah.
know? Just like UMass Amherst. Like,
fair enough.
Mhm.
Yeah.
they have, like, it's Johnson & Wales, JWU. I meant that is Johnson & Wales. Roger Williams,
I went to
PC,
Roger once
which
or
is
twice.
Providence College.
Yeah.
Did you?
All those frats are in the same area. They're all in North Providence. They're
Yeah.
all about 6, I'd say about 6 streets wide, and then about 2, 3 deep. and you know it's all frats. You know,
So it's a
you
war
go
zone.
over there in the summer.
It's a war.
It's
zone.
a
I wouldn't
war
say it's-
zone.
Yeah, no bullshit. Frat wars was crazy.
I'm
Oh
sure
my
it
God.
was.
Seriously?
Nah, there was a thing called frat
Oh my
wars.
God.
I mean, let's
That was
make it.
insane.
It's young men and young women.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of competition.
Well,
there.
the way that I look at a frat house is by going to plenty of parties because my cousin was in a frat.
Yeah.
So I was like an honorary brother, whatever. So
Mhm.
like, you know, you get to be part of the frat without the extra bullshit like
The
getting fucking
fees and
spanked
all the
or
blow.
whatever.
Whatever they do,
weird
you end up on
initiation you gotta do.
You end
know
up
what
on
I mean?
Channel 7.
Yeah.
Can you believe what they're
Can you
doing at
see this?
UMass Amherst? They are smacking
Those are the
people
best.
with a paddle.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
They're paying
Yeah. You don't
60
gotta get
grand for
paddled,
it.
none of that. So you know, I got the cool pass. You know, mostly because of just people I knew. Like I knew DJs, stuff like that. For their parties, they did a lot of theme parties. You know,
Yeah.
You know, they got a lot of bullshit going on during the week. They need something to have fun.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, like, you know, I went to a school that was very strict. More like, you know, you got to buckle down. You're only there for about 2 years. So, you know, versus a 4-year school where you're going to fucking learn how to bake. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
more of
Like,
a
you're
fun
gonna
ride.
bullshit.
Yeah.
You're gonna bullshit around.
How do I become the next Bobby Flay?
Yeah, no, for real. But
Go work with Bobby Flay. That's how
so you know, there was a lot of, you know, people. You're there to party and bullshit. That's why you go to a frat. You're not there because, oh, I got a girlfriend now. You're there to fuck around and, you know, party, drink,
stupid.
whatever.
Yeah.
Test, like, try out drugs, whatever. I seen the craziest shit happen. But
Oh my God. Yeah, talk about that a little bit. What have you seen in college?
that's what I'm saying. Like, the craziest shit, we probably had a blizzard. I would say it's about 2017. It wasn't really a blizzard, just a pretty good storm.
Yeah, sure.
Gave us a good couple inches. I see people like skiing down the street. You know, fuck a car. We're just gonna ski like cross country skiing down
actual
the street.
skis?
That's
Actual ski
Oh
up
my
to
God.
a party. I've seen people, you know, roll kegs down the street in the in the middle of a good snowstorm. You know, I'd say one time I had my friends visit me down there on a what is the Irish holiday?
St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patrick's
So
Day,
St.
yeah.
Patrick's Day, and you know, everyone's going crazy. There was like all the house parties were like, I wouldn't say getting shut down, but like they were getting so like, crazy that everyone's like, "Hey,
Let's keep
we're
it in check."
overpacked. We gotta, you know, everyone
Yeah.
get the fuck out the house, and then we're gonna restart entry." And people are pissed because they already paid. You know what I mean?
yeah,
$5-10 at the door,
Yeah,
whatever.
that
And they're like,
sucks.
"What the fuck?" But like, you know, if they say you and your friends need to get out, you gotta get the fuck out. You know, it's not their house; it's whoever's renting it out. So
Yeah.
you gotta listen, and it was definitely crazy. I'd say the frat wars was definitely crazy. So it was like the Brown University baseball team, and then it was my cousin's frat, who's just a bunch of fucking dickheads in the frat. I love them. They were crazy as hell. I love them. But yeah, the baseball team lived across the street. You know, completely different college. So that's why the frat wars. And like pretty much they were just harassing people going to the parties, stuff like that.
And you just
And
gotta fight them.
they were just like, you know, they run shit legit like a club, you know. They got some brothers outside, some running inside for like drinks, jungle
What
juice,
the
shit
hell?
like
Oh,
that.
jungle juice.
You know, they
Yeah.
got frat brothers walking around making sure no fights are breaking out around the house. Like it's a 3-story frat houses, so you know you got to make sure each level is straight. Walk around, switch around, rotate shifts. You know, people at the door are gonna get cold in the winter, so they want to, you know, go down to work in the bar or whatever. And the bar people go to door, and or like the people walking around will go to door. They'll go to walking around. So, you know, they'll just mix it up, make sure shit's running smooth. And you know, if you have people, girls coming in being like, hey, you know, this dude's harassing, talking shit across the street about you
It's not a
guys,
good
you know,
look.
you know, people are drunk, they're fucking, you know, it's a attractive female, whatever, saying it to you. Oh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go fuck them up, show them up in
God.
front of the girls.
Drunk college
Yeah.
students.
So, you know, you get like frats going at each other. It's like 20 people versus like 30 people, whatever. Like it's
literally
crazy.
a gang. It's
Mosh
literally
pit.
like a gang.
Yeah, no, for real.
Yep.
So it's it was definitely interesting to watch. Glad I was like an honorary brother, not really legitimately part of it.
Involved,
Yeah, you're
But
not involved
I wouldn't
in
legitly join one. I definitely want to recommend that. I've seen a lot of people like their lives get ruined because of it. Because you know, You gotta show up to meetings, but you're like, yo, I got a test tomorrow. Like, fuck your meeting.
It's a literally gang mentality. That's what I saw.
Pretty much,
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that. It takes up a lot of time.
Takes up a lot of your time just on bullshit because people just party and bullshit.
But it takes up your head too. Like
yeah,
when
no. That's what I'm saying. If you start a frat war with someone, you gotta watch out for those people. You know what I mean? You might go to different colleges, but you guys live on the same street.
Yeah.
You know, you're at the convenience store.
Right.
Just, you know, getting some water, some drinks for the next class tomorrow.
Enjoying yourself.
And then you got 2-3 people from that frat entering, you know, they're gonna be like, oh, let's just jump this kid. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
So.
It's kind of crazy how it's, you know, it's a nice area, but the frat, they just find a way to make it dangerous.
They dropped it right in the middle, like the ghetto's right next door.
I know what you're talking about. I spent the summer in Providence.
So you know, we had issues with like gangs and stuff like that when I was at the frat, but you know, nothing too crazy. No one really died. Like no one got shot, nothing like that. But you know, there was like fights that broke out. You know, stupid bullshit.
It's always
You know, that's because you know you got people who grow up like right down the street, and they're like, hey, this is my area, blah, blah, blah. But you're like, I go to school with these kids. Like, I know Jimmy from 201. You know what I mean? Like, Jimmy's going to hit me up because he knows I'm not going to lace his shit, bro. So, you know, you're just some kid that grew up and was raised in Providence. So,
it's
tough.
It's
tough, especially if you go to school in like a city.
Yeah.
I definitely recommend if you're going to go away to like, you know, UMass Amherst, somewhere like that where it's like the middle of nowhere.
You should go somewhere secluded.
Definitely safe.
Yeah.
You want to go to a town that is designed
if you're a
around
city kid, definitely go to a city. You know, you understand the environment. But, you know, if you're like a townie, you know, whatever, like you want to go away, I definitely want to recommend like a city college because it's harder, you know, you got a lot of the inner city kids, you know, that go there. So they're like, you know, they understand the environment.
Different breed.
You know, like
different
just
breed.
Street smarts, like watching over your shoulder, stuff like that definitely goes into account when you go to, you know, a city school, stuff like that.
100%.
It's like if you went to high school in the city, you know?
It's just what are you used to? I mean, I know when I go into a city, I never have problems in a city. I never have any issues, but I also know that this is not my environment. I'm not trained to be here.
You know what I mean?
You know?
Someone could be starting with you or trying to set you up to scam you, whatever, and you wouldn't even know it. So, you know, like someone like me, I grew up in Lowell, so you know, it's not a big city, but it's a city enough where like it teaches you, you know, to watch your environment and stuff like that. You know, be more cautious than you normally would be in like a suburban area.
Sure.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, especially even around campus. I mean, we get emails every now and then of someone getting robbed or... I don't know. It's just, you don't expect that on a college campus, but...
When I was in college, like, you know, there's sometimes at the party where I was like, you know what? I should probably start heading out. You know what I mean? Like, it's getting a little too crazy.
Yeah, you
like,
feel that vibe.
You know, you see these people in the corner not messing with these other people across in the other corner. Like, you know what I mean? Like, before something breaks out of hand, you know, just remove yourself from the equation.
I don't get it, though. I don't get it. You know Why can't we just all have we're just all having a good time?
Honestly, I feel like a lot of times it's more about, what I seen is it's more about ego. It's always over like a girl.
They're unhappy.
Some money. Or, you know what I mean?
And
like,
money's usually
you're testing
about drugs.
someone's manhood, pretty much.
Oh my,
money's
you know
who gives a fuck?
Instead of testing someone's manhood, you know, just give them the money back. You know, leave them alone. Leave their girl alone. Whatever the hell it is.
Yeah, who cares, dude?
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, they to have fun.
Exactly.
If they're taken, they're taken. Or like, you know what I mean? You owe someone money, pay them. You know, just. You know, cut the bullshit. Just
common sense.
Yeah.
Speaking of not being from a city, for somebody who came from a suburb, I knew a guy who went to a party and got stabbed in the throat over a cell phone.
Oh my God.
He survived. The guy's in jail for attempted murder who did
What?
it.
Oh, of course.
But
in the throat.
Yeah. You can look it up on the news. It was when I was a kid. I knew him since I met Tyler in 5th grade. It's just weird. Like that every once in a while, and that kid was from a city. He was from like New Bedford, and where I grew up was like right around Taunton. So, you know, there was some distance there. It wasn't
a little bit, not too much, but nothing, you know, enough where it's a different environment.
Where you don't hang out with kids like that. Like where I went to school was like, I was from the towns around Taunton, but no one didn't know where those. It was from Bridgewater. But
so what happened? Do you know the story?
Yeah. My friend, my neighbor up the street was at a party. He was having a great time. He left, given it's wicked late. It's like 2 a.m. So to give you context, everyone's on all kinds of stuff. But he walks out, and he's going for his car, and these two people jump him, try to steal his phone, fights him off, like literally just fight. Like I think he just pushed him off and ran back inside. Said, "Hey, somebody tried to jump me." They go back outside. The guy's freaking out. He's not having it. He's on all kinds of this and that. And he pulled out a knife and he stabbed the kid who was going to go out and beat the shit out of him for trying to jump my friend. Yeah. And that's how stupid stuff like that happens.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
As a city kid,
That's
like,
over the top, though. That's
definitely
way over the top.
I mean,
holy
it happens.
crap!
But stuff like that just gets out of hand.
Was he a psycho or is just?
just when you live in, like I said, when you live in a city, like a lot of people think you got to go to the extreme because over little situations where you could even just have a conversation, talk it out.
Yeah.
But you know, a lot of people like to go to extreme just because a lot of people have that pride feeling. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I got a lot of pride. You know, I'm with my buddies or I'm with this girl I really like or whatever the situation is, you know.
Yeah, some
They
bullshit.
feel like they got to go to extreme to show, you know, they're the man. They're the
That
one.
their status
They're-
isn't being slighted.
Yeah, that they're not, you know, their manhood isn't
ego.
getting tested. That's pretty much what it is. It's an ego
That's
thing.
It's
I've
that's
lost-
politics
I've
in a
lost a lot,
nutshell, is it
dude.
not? You
it's
know,
ego, but I think it's more than that too. Because like, all right, if I let you,
No, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah.
like it could start out as an ego thing, but I feel like that's where most of it starts out. But
yeah,
after a while, it's more like the other side. You know, it's both ways at this point. But like they'll mock them, stuff like that. Be like, hey, I pulled your girl, or hey, like, you know, I have your money. I'm spending it elsewhere.
it's about
not giving it
survival
to
at
you.
that point. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
more like, hey, like, fuck. It's like a fuck you, pretty much.
yeah,
Is
And
what they're trying to say. And, you know, instead of being a dickhead and being like the fuck you guy, you could be like, all right, here's your money. Or, hey, you know, my bad. I didn't know you were talking to her. And stuff
yeah.
like that, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah,
But
it's-
no, like, and, like, you know, it doesn't help with the social media and stuff like that nowadays where it's
oh
like,
my god, that's a
everyone
fucking.
wants to
always
be, you know,
worse.
the
That is
hardest
a-
guy in the world. you
Yeah.
know?
it's all for show.
It's all bullshit. It's more, you know, I feel like after losing a good couple of friends the past couple of years, you know, in college, over in Rhode Island, and then also back home here in Lowell, I feel like it just, a lot of it's pride and bullshit that could have been prevented by, like I said, like a conversation, maybe misunderstanding, you know, like, just, you know, just bullshit. It's really
it's
what
really
the best way
it's
to put
just,
it.
It's just air. Yeah,
So I feel like it's just all preventable stuff, you know.
yeah. I think it's weird how much weight. The problem is when we say it's bullshit, it is bullshit. It actually, the substance of the issue is.
Well, it's because it could be prevented.
It can be prevented.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
The thing is, people put weight on it, though. The reason that it matters is because
Exactly.
that girl cares what happens. That guy standing next to you will think less of you. It's the people you surround yourself with. I know it sounds really cliche.
It's true.
It determines who you will become. Because if you're around people
100%.
who get a fight about it every time or whatever, you'll
So
go
I'm
down that hole.
saying, I've lost friends, not like
Not like
I've
death.
lost friends to death, but I've also lost friends generally.
Sure.
Just because, you know, just people they surround themselves with, you know, everyone's goal is to be, you know, to die rich and happy and, you know,
Yeah.
well
They-
taken care of.
At the end of the day, they just want to feel important.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Some people, you know, they want to die with that legacy of being, you know, whatever it is, being the baddest or, you know, having the most money, whatever. But
Sure.
to get to those points, you know, you gotta actually like do stuff that's not, you know, just
Not
to
showing
impress,
off.
you know,
Yeah.
Joe down the street because, you know, Joe thinks you're pussy. You know, fuck what Joe thinks.
Show does not matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, seriously.
You know, what does Joe got to offer you? What does Joe, you know, bringing to the table your friendship? That's what I think a lot of people are missing.
That's,
It's just-
that is what people.
I'd say 99% of people's opinions, they really don't fucking matter. I mean,
Exactly.
do they really matter?
Exactly.
You have to get along with people because people present opportunities, just like we talked about earlier. People will open doors, but you don't need to put weight on people that are like that. Don't have anything to offer you, so you just need to. Okay, this person is somebody that I respect and I value. This person is somebody that I don't respect and I don't really respect their values either. So we're just put that away.
I feel like in college, a lot, like I didn't meet a lot of good people, but obviously me or whatever. But the good people that I did meet, I feel like they did have values. You know, they were like, you know, I'm here because I want to go to this location.
And that's
or,
what
you
it
know,
needs to be.
I want to go to where I want to be in life.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the people, you know, I could really talk to and stuff. But, you know, you're at frats, obviously everyone's lit, everyone's, you know, off something.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
there's drinking, smoking, doing some party drugs, whatever it is. I feel like, you know, some people generally, you know, are good people, like no matter what they do, stuff like that. Like it's frat, it's like a crazy party area. You know what I mean?
It's a
Yeah.
mosh pit. Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's a mosh pit.
Yeah.
I feel like I met a lot of good people through that. Like a lot of people I still in contact today, you know, they're from New York, New Jersey, upstate New York, whether it be Vermont, Maine, you know,
Yeah, all
all
kinds
over
of
the
places.
place, all
Yeah.
over the place.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that was the best part of college is because you meet all these different people and like
Absolutely.
the cool thing is
diversity.
like I said, I went to an area where there's 11 colleges in 20-mile radius, so
it's tons of people.
you're meeting all different types of people from different backgrounds, different schools, majors, all that stuff, different places you're trying to go in life. I feel like that was the best part is because it's so diverse
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Yeah.
that like you know, you're sitting here, you're like, hey, you know, I like me, I'm in automotive and stuff like that, but you know, Max is fucking my cousin's little. He's there to be a baker.
Sure.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
completely
he works at
different
a
life.
bakery
Yeah.
for to live off campus. You know, he's actually doing baking in school, all different types of stuff. I feel like that was really good because you know there's stuff like that, but then also the girls in the sorority that were like in the Delta of my cousin's frat.
Right.
They're all there for like fashion stuff like that. So, you know, you're sitting there having different conversations with different people. Like, hey, like, where you work? What do you do? You know what I mean? And there will be like, just the diversity is definitely a good reason to go to college.
Yeah.
Obviously, stay away from you know the party bullshit. You know, people do too much coke or whatever.
Oh
they're
my
fucking
God,
off
I
the
was
chain, like-
I was surprised how many people did coke.
I was surprised how
in
many people had the
college.
resources to do coke. Number one. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Well, I could tell you from being a city kid that
Yeah.
you know if you grew up in a city, you can obviously find those resources pretty easily.
Oh, I'm talking about money, man. I mean, you can find
Oh,
anything if
no.
you can buy it. but-
Yeah, I
thing
was
about me
poor. I was
crazy-
eating
Yeah.
Taco Bell every day.
That's what I'm
I-
saying. I'm living off like $50 to $100 every weekend. You know,
wasn't a lot
just
of money.
pay because I got to pay for half for school because of you know the type of loan I had, and then you know paying to live off campus. I was a pretty broke boy. Not gonna lie.
Everyone was in
Yeah.
college. Most
So-
Then you got like Sarah over here who's getting 500 from her daddy just because her daddy got it.
Yeah, and she's failing too,
Yeah.
running around campus naked. Did you hear about that freshman year?
I did not.
That
but-
girl,
oh, I
that
did, I did,
this
I did,
girl,
I
she
did
got
remember
like
that
wicked
now,
fucked
yeah.
out. She was just running around campus naked. This is like week one, and then there was a mass email sent out, and they're saying,
Nah, that's
"Oh, we
what
need
I'm
to
saying.
find this girl. Something's gonna happen, dude." I see her moving out like
They had all types
3
of
days
crazy-
later. Someone lasted a week at college.
Oh,
I mean, can you believe
definitely
it?
know what the craziest shit I saw in college was.
Let's hear
So
it.
I'm sitting here at URI. I'm visiting my ex, whatever. We're chilling in like the common
Oh,
area,
yeah.
hanging out. You know, everyone's doing homework. I'm even doing homework at my school because it's online. So
doing
I'm on
your
my
thing,
iPad,
yeah.
you know, doing my thing. This girl's tweaking the fuck out at the end of the hallway.
no.
Oh my
Like
god!
banging on this kid's door, like, why won't you take me back? Blah blah. So
Jeff,
I guess
open the door.
Yeah, I guess Jeff took her virginity, and
Jeff, you dog.
and what's it called? The girl was tweaking like, I'm gonna kill myself if we're not together.
Oh
Like,
my God.
all
Oh my
this
God.
stuff. Like they had to call the police. Like
What else do
the
you do?
therapist on
Fucking
campus.
SWAT team,
like,
FBI.
Not literally, no, literally, like campus police, all that, like shutting down. All right, everyone got to go to their room. I'm a visitor, so I got to go to my ex's dorm room, whatever.
Yeah.
Or just chilling there with her two roommates, like. Peeking out the door, like, what's going on? This is the most interesting shit. It's
Sarah's
a
about
Tuesday,
to
you know
put
what I mean?
hands, yeah.
Yeah.
Sarah's tweaking.
It's oh god.
It was terrible. We were like, damn. So, then 2 days later, I'm back on campus at URI visiting, because you can visit, during visiting,
Yeah, sure.
like, day hours, whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Weekends you can sleep over, but, days are visits.
Mhm.
So, yeah, we're sitting here and she just, moving her shit out.
How long
I
did
was
she
just
last?
like-
How far is this into the semester?
This is like halfway through the year. This is like winter. It's not even
So
like
a couple
summer,
months.
none. Yeah.
She lasted longer than that tweaker at UMass Dartmouth.
I'm so it's so it hurts. It hurts to see that because I know like they're not. You're just a stupid kid who needs to go and like relax. You just need to go relax.
Somebody who told you that it's like those people on American Idol that
you're like, why are you here?
There wasn't a person that told you that, you know what, maybe this isn't for you. Maybe you should work at Olive Garden and be a waiter or just the same thing with college. It's you know, you're struggling with the basics. I don't know.
Yeah. I feel like that's the thing too, is like when you go to college, you gotta be ready for it. You can't just like you gotta be ready
it's
for
not
that
high
stress.
school.
You can't just like go in and be like, all right, everyone's gonna hold my hand. If you're one of those people, do not go to college.
People handle stress so differently. It's incredible, isn't it? Have you seen that at your work? I mean, everyone sees it.
We do, because if we get cars in quick, there's a couple of guys who are like, oh my God. And I'm like, dude, it's only 4 cars.
Complainers.
We got 3 in the bay and 1 in the back.
Complainers. Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, we'll be done all these in 30 minutes,
no
40
problem.
minutes.
Yeah.
Like there's 3-4 of us on shift. We'll get it done.
Yeah. Now, some people just lose their ability to ground themselves. Like, okay, we're in a difficult situation, so let's go task by task.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's weird.
If you gotta, I feel like that's another thing that too is versus like 2-year programs versus like 4-year programs. Like, if you need the extra time to like spread it out, depending what major you're doing, obviously. But like, you know, if there's automotive programs that are 4 years, and then there's ones that are 2 years. Like I took a 2-year because I felt like with my intelligence in automotive field, I went to high school for it.
Yeah, you're ready.
That I only needed 2 years. You know what I mean? I just need to touch up on what I already learned. You know, maybe better ways to do it.
Yeah, that is 4 years if you think about it. If it's every other week at your high school, that's 2 years of automotive,
and then another 2 years.
So
that's what I'm saying. But I feel like there was a lot of people who like I said, they're just the bullshit. Obviously, those are the type of people I feel like that needed the 4 years versus a 2-year.
Yeah.
Because, you know, if you're also there to bullshit, you're probably not focused on what you're trying to do. Versus where I was trying to get into a shop ASAP. So, obviously, there's co-op and stuff, but they only let you do so much on co-op. I want to legitimately work there. Like, you know what I mean?
You want to blossom. Yeah.
I go to school till list. Well, I did it opposite my second year. I went to work and then school.
Okay. That's
so
almost
night
better.
shift.
Yeah.
It was honestly better because I'd work. The way I looked at it is like if I'm working in a shop, I'm working. And then after work, I'm like, you know, I worked on this car. I have a really good question on it. But, you know, I'm not there because I went to school, then work. But if you go to work, then school, it's like those questions you got during your day, you can ask your professor or whoever it is, you know.
Right.
You know, you might be able to do an electrical and it's on brake and suspension. But still, you could, you know, it's after class, hey, you know, I was working on this car today.
Yeah, he knows.
I need you to give me a hand. Yeah, help me put this together. That what you touched on, people, when I went to UMass Amherst, it is great school because it's so big. And it is, there are aspects of it that are awful. One of them is advising. It depends upon your advisor, but a good percentage of people, you were on your own. I got on 3 years because I pushed my advisor hard. I was ruthless, and I had to be. But if you're gonna go to school, you gotta be ready to do that, man. You gotta. I don't know what that is.
My advisor was a dumbass.
Well, he
still is. I hope he's not watching.
It doesn't matter.
Sorry.
You go into their office, put a list in front of them, and tell them you're signing this, or you're not my advisor anymore, and you can sign me free right now. And don't leave until they give you an answer. And if they're not there, go back, call them 6 times in a day. Do it for a week. They'll get back to you. You know, just to get off of your voicemail. Fill up their voicemail box. Who cares? I mean, you have to be that guy. You just do. Yeah.
I feel like teachers respect that more if you got more your own personal in life questions versus like all through the textbook, because, you know, that it's real life shit. You know what I mean? You're like, it's like, hey, like I ran into this issue with this car, you know. You got 40 years of experience. What's up? You know? Even sometimes they might not, because like just like everything else in automotive field, every year things are changing.
Yep.
you know, so they might not even know. And then, like I said, that's a good question to the point where you both are looking it up to learn, you know. So not only did you just learn, but your teacher just learned, so we can teach the other classes, hey, you know, this is a little trick I learned offline, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, nobody knows everything.
Exactly.
I mean, that's when you should be worried if you're in a classroom and the professor is
Mr. Know-it-all.
Yeah, thinks they know everything. They're not taking.
Not good. Yeah.
And you know something's up.
You know, because even I had professors who were taking classes after school, not like, you know, physically at the school, but, you know, they were taking it online, you know. They were like, hey, you know, the new whatever model car just dropped, you know.
Yeah.
We need to know what the hell the harness is like or whatever it is, whatever technical term, you know, whatever part of the vehicle you want to talk about. So it was just crazy stuff like that.
It's weird how some people can grasp how to convey information and be really good teachers with really minimal effort. And some people will try for years and years and always be terrible at it. And I think I'm sure you know
some
a few.
Terrible teachers. Like,
some.
I had an electrical teacher actually,
a lot.
because you know you learn a lot in the automotive field. You learn all different stuff. But my electrical teacher, I mean, I passed with like a D plus, because my electrical teacher just couldn't teach. Like, you know, he had all the information and stuff like that, but it's more like his explanation on it just wasn't fully there. You know what I mean? Like,
it
was kind of half-assed.
Which means he doesn't understand it.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
He's there for the paycheck.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's
Sucks.
like, you know, he explains it the best he can. Like, he can go and do the work himself in the shop, you know, when we go from lecture to the shop.
Yep.
You know, it's hands-on, he can show us, but, like, we don't understand it if we're looking at a blueprint of electrical and we're like, all right, so this is the end of a circuit, like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like, where does this connection go to this connection? Like, it does. I don't understand the grasp of it. You know, but then when you go do hands-on, you can do it, but, like, how are you supposed to do it if you can't explain it to a customer? You know what I mean? Hey, I just fixed this. All right, cool, but what am I paying you for?
What did you just do?
Yeah, if you can't communicate, if you can't make a deal, I mean, you're not making any money. You can know everything in the world, but if you can't talk to people.
Yeah. Well, you're in a people business. You're not in a people business. You are.
Yeah.
I am. I mean,
it depends.
Well, you are, but you aren't.
It depends. I mean, you got to convince the investors into,
that's what I'm saying.
you know, the general.
Yeah. You got to, I feel what you're saying, because, like, back to my friend JR I was talking about earlier. He went into the engineering portion of the automotive and, like, technical engineering, and it was pretty interesting because, you know, that was his thing, is he knew what he was doing, but, like, to convert it to talking, you know, because you got to sell your blueprint to a you know, you got a company, whatever it is.
Absolutely, yeah.
So you're sitting here and you're just like, hey, you know, this is my blueprint to what I want to make for the next model vehicle. All right, so how does it operate? You know what I mean?
Well,
you gotta sit and you're sitting there like, you know, they're gonna be like, all right, next.
Well, they're not. Yeah,
they're not gonna listen to you.
Non-technical people communicating with technical people is really difficult. I mean, in my experience, architects to superintendent or project, anybody, architects to actual construction, great example of that. Like, okay, so you've drawn something. Now I need you to explain what it is, what function it serves, and how I'm going to build it. And half the time they don't know. I mean, that's what I really.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how are you supposed to be a project leader or whatever your term is called?
Yeah.
You can't explain it. Like, you got to be able to be like, hey, so, you know, this is the house or this is the car we're building. These are the functions of it, you know, or this we're putting electrical, this we're putting the heating, this you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's difficult to. Some people are so smart that they can't get out of their own heads. And I've met a couple people like that. And it's really frustrating because you talk. Maybe they're not the best at talking, but they show you, or maybe they have little glimpses of being able to break things down in a way that you're going to understand. And then you put them in a situation like, okay, you're in front of somebody who can really advance your career, your life, whatever. And they just cannot get through that block. And I don't think, like, I don't know if it's a matter of practice, if it's innate ability. I have no idea, but it's super frustrating. I've seen that you see it with guys when they talk to girls. First 10 times they do it, they're awful at it, and then they figure it out. But I think some people with presentation just don't have, like, that progression where they get better. I've met a couple kids like that in my life.
I feel like the thing that go over the top with that is from good to great is the great thing is you said, all right, they figured out how to talk to a girl, but then you got different girls. You know, you might be interested in different girls. So just like different investors, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're looking for certain, you know,
qualities
or like, you know, certain ways that you know, present yourself.
Absolutely.
In both terms. So it's like, you know, once you figure it out, a couple times, and then you're sitting there like, oh shit, this girl or this investor isn't interested in me. Why aren't they interested in me? And you got to learn to, I feel like that's learning to adapt.
I think the common thread that I was touching upon was courage, because you get courage, you build courage.
The liquid courage.
The liquid courage.
The liquid courage is
that
real.
Helps. It is real. And you've had
get you a couple
couple liquid
Monacos in you.
Yeah. Shout out to the guy, the Monaco Purple Crush. We're crushing those. But no, it's
Megan Fox, you know.
Yeah, that's weird. Courage is weird. People are weird with that. No. It's so odd. I mean, that's why alcohol is so popular. You're right. It's literally, you drink a liquid and now you're filled with less fear. It's pretty crazy.
I feel like it's all types of substances too, because that's what another thing back in college I learned is like, you know, people be like, oh, I'm shy, blah blah blah. Yeah. But they get a couple of, you know, White Claws or whatever.
Those aren't even that strong, though. Yeah,
and they'll
crazy.
White Claws.
The girls will get some White Claws, and then they're going up to the guys, asking the guys, hey, what's up?
Hey, how are you?
You know?
The woo girls.
The woo girls.
Yeah, man. That's the reason I commute now.
Is that
No.
That's the reason I commute.
But
wasn't the dorm?
Nah, the bathroom's probably the reason.
The bathrooms are my favorite part.
Oh my god! Someone just kept throwing up on the floor, and the whole hall gets charged. What, $100?
Oh, it was just at the Dirty Deer. I have to remember this. Yeah.
It was like 3 days in a row. It's like, buddy, all right, the first day, you know, off to the side on the wall a little bit.
Yo, puking your own shit in your room so you get charged yourself.
But I ended up getting charged like $3.
Collective punishment.
Going to a city, stuff like that. Like I said, I didn't live on campus, but I heard about on-campus living once we had it my second year. And like, I heard about stupid stuff like that, or like people pissing all, you know, that, you know, just feces, throwing their feces everywhere.
Yeah, that's what happens in prison.
You know, like that's what I'm saying. Like, how old are you?
They're throwing feces everywhere. What is this? The Southwick Zoo?
Dude, that's literally gonna give people diseases, like not like real sickness. Like you're in the hospital if you eat something it's not good. There's a reason we have modern sewage, and it's pretty great. You don't get sick and die.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I probably knew my max, like, with liquor and stuff like that, at probably, like, 16, 17. So before
earlier than that, are you kidding?
Earlier than that with the fucking, what's it called?
Four Locos.
Oh, God.
The old ones.
Let's go bands. That's
in college, they'd make a jungle juice with, like, what's that cheap at? Rubinoff and shit like that.
I don't want to talk about Rubinoff.
Like,
Ruby and Popov.
But, you know, you put Gatorade, you put
don't
fucking
even know.
all that shit. It's good.
Yeah.
You're like, damn, this is good,
you
but
know
I gotta
what?
hang over the next day.
You can put it in your gas tank the next day.
No, for real, though.
Oh, God, man. Thinking back to Rubinoff, that was at UMass. That was freshman and sophomore year.
That was you. I've talked to people at UMass Amherst, too, like, other than you.
Sure.
Rubinoff seems to be it's a staple.
It's a key
common theme.
It's a college key.
Yeah.
Yo, you want to survive? You can drink Rubinoff.
Here's $10,
dude. It's like
$10.
It's $10 with tax.
That tropical juice at the street market.
That's Sunny D or something or whatever.
Sunny D and rum.
Whatever it is. Whatever.
It doesn't matter.
Dude.
Yeah. It's not
if you make some decent juice with Rubinoff, you're straight.
They do that in New York.
You're just gonna be hungover till 1 the next day, but you're straight.
Oh my God.
When you're 18 though, you can power through.
Oh yeah.
Rubinoff, you're just hungover as you're drunk.
I feel like that was the thing too. Back like, I didn't take a lot of people take like Xanax or whatever.
Oh, hell no.
Don't want to do that.
No, like just to like stay up. I feel like I spent a lot of time up without having to take drugs. Like just like studying stuff like that. You know,
it's not worth it.
You're up only like 2-3 hours a couple of days a week. You know, just to get the extra study hours and whatever it is. You know. Just power through it.
I respect people who do that. I didn't do anything. I didn't.
Me,
Yeah.
a couple of my roommates, people I knew that I went to school with, other schools, they all did it. You know, you just gotta. So I'm saying it's an investment. Like if you're going to school, definitely go for something you definitely want to do.
Yeah, or you're wasting your time.
You're just wasting time,
your money, your
effort.
parents' money.
Yeah.
It's just
I
bad,
mean,
depending where you come from.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're definitely a low income, person or family, definitely don't go
do
to
that.
college. If
I
you're
mean,
not
you get
ready.
more financial aid, but have a game plan. Don't just go
Yeah.
and be undeclared for 3 years.
Nah, yeah.
You know,
Even someone like me, like I didn't even have I didn't come from a rich home or like a poor home, like
Middle class.
But
Yeah.
it wasn't. I would say like lower middle class.
Sure.
It wasn't like the greatest, but I'd definitely say like I still had to pay like half every semester, like every other month or whatever. I had to pay that month.
Yeah.
And it was like $250. You know what I mean? So I'm paying like $500-600 for rent and everything like that included, and then you add the $200 on top. It's like $800 a month right there. Boom. You know, and
It's
you're
a
only
lot,
working
yeah.
at like Papa Gino's part time,
Basic job.
basic job, like
Yeah.
Walmart, Market Basket,
Target.
whatever the fuck.
It's weird, man. It's weird how your perception of money changes. Like when you're a kid,
For sure.
that's a ton of, that's a damn.
Definitely
that's,
save
yeah.
before you go to college. Too.
Yeah.
That's what I did. I was glad I did because
Yeah.
that paid for my what's it called when you pay straight up front.
Oh, sure.
For the
Lump
not
sum
straight
payment?
front, but to go to the school and all that.
Oh, tuition.
Tuition.
Yeah.
I
Tuition.
helped pay
Yeah.
for my tuition. I helped pay for my first and last. Stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like it definitely helped me out by saving my senior year. You know, definitely save up before you go to college, I'd say.
yeah. When I took a semester off, it was the best thing I ever did. Saved up a bunch of money. Actually I worked in sales at Target.
Yeah.
I ended up meeting some important people.
That's
that
what
paid
I'm
off
saying.
later
That's
on.
what it
Yeah,
is.
I got the internship in my life.
Definitely, when you're younger, if you go to college or not, definitely, what's it called?
Just have a game
Just
plan.
web out. Just, spread yourself thin in a way, just try to meet new people. The best way is just to web and connect with different people because that's all really life is connections.
Absolutely. And don't be that. It's so weird how scared people are innately to fail. Even if you fail it, if you try to web out to 50 people and it works with 3, that's okay.
Those 3
fine.
could be important,
Yeah.
And just like Zuckerberg or whatever his name is.
Zuckerberg.
Zuckerberg with Facebook,
Yeah.
Only 2-3 people showed up and they're all millionaires today.
It's
Oh my
crazy
god,
to think
dude!
about.
There's a lecture online. It's he gave a lecture at Harvard. It was like 1-2 years after Facebook, so it was kind of popular within like a college campus, but it was nowhere near what it is today. Maybe like 10, 15.
I see what you're talking about. I
10,
know what you're
15
talking
people
about.
showed
Yeah.
up.
Yeah.
He's just going off about, I barely showed up to lectures, had an idea. I thought it would be cool if we did this. I thought it'd be cool if you could look someone up online and learn about them, their hobbies or whatever.
Yeah.
What they're into, yeah.
It turned into Facebook.
No, definitely.
Now
That's what I'm
he's-
saying. Like, you never know. I feel like that's another thing is like, definitely support your friends. You know what I mean? Like,
You never know, man.
I feel like there's a lot of people who their friends will come up with an idea and they'll be like,
That's
why didn't I think
stupid.
of that? Or that's
Yeah.
like you said, like that's stupid. Like
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like I feel like that's just bad because who knows? Your friend could be onto the next big thing. Could be like fucking TikTok. You know what I mean?
Which is so stupid.
Dude,
So it could be like,
TikTok
that's
is-
dumb. That's stupid. Why am I
you
going to
know-
invest in that? And then boom, that's the next great entertainment site.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
never know. With
TikTok is
society,
China, though, right? Isn't
The weird.
Yeah,
Isn't-
but it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
phone,
I was listening
so-
to people who actually. The thing with TikTok is social media has progressively. It's about hitting the fame lottery. And I'm literally quoting the guy, but it's because it's true.
It is.
The quicker TikTok is so popular because you can go from 0 to hero overnight, and that's
of course,
crazy.
just with a stupid dance or
But
something.
did you
Yeah.
hear some of those people? It's, I think someone in China
Yep.
invented TikTok.
Yeah,
and
I've touched on that.
they'll have these bots that follow these accounts, and it'll look like you have 5,000 followers overnight, but in reality, they're just trying to get you addicted to the app.
And that touches into.
Did you read that article? Have you guys heard about that?
I have.
No.
I've heard about that kind of psychology that goes into that. I think that touches upon like every social media app because they're all the same game. It's all competing. But it's also interesting how that ties into Facebook, but in the dating apps too. Those are such weird places to be.
Fucking disaster.
They're not.
I actually have some experience with that. So obviously Tinder is a big thing with college.
Allegedly, yeah.
Well, I'm in, Providence. I'm far away from home. I don't know nobody around here.
Yeah,
Besides, like, if I do, like, it's bottle girls or girls from school, whatever. So who gives a fuck what they think?
Yeah, it doesn't.
So obviously I made one and just for shits and giggles.
Just for
see what
fun,
I could
'cause
get.
why not?
Yeah, we've all had one.
Everyone's got that.
Still have
I
one.
can pick girls up out of school, but I also wanted to see what else was out there in the market for girls who weren't at my school, just from the area, whatever. our
Why
age.
wouldn't you? Yeah.
100%.
And I feel like you definitely meet some interesting people. Like I met people who I still talk to today who were cool
For
people,
real?
but also like like it wasn't anything like that. Like they had Tinders that were like on here looking for friends or whatever, and it's like what, they look like a cool person. Why not?
Yeah, fuck it,
see what
right?
they're about.
Yeah.
And they're cool people. They're little entrepreneurs. Like they got their own little businesses going on, or whatever. Good people to know.
Then you got some weirdos
you got the
asking you about
weirdos,
your
like-
toes and shit. And
No. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I had some girlfriends who were like, oh, I matched this guy on Tinder, but he's a weirdo, and they'll show me the DMs, and I'm like, yeah, I'd definitely stay away from him.
Definitely
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
let that one go. Let that one go into the wind.
Definitely pass on that.
Yeah.
what were they saying?
Like, just stuff like, people have their weird fetishes, like,
Why not?
just
Yeah.
weird shit, like, I want to see you dressed in, like, cosplay, shit like that, and
What's
it's like,
cosplay?
cosplay is like you're like dressed as like a fucking naked Luigi or something. You know what I mean? Like, bro, what? You know what I mean?
He's not wrong. Yeah.
It's like it's just random. Like, oh, I want you dressed as a Pokemon. Like, what the fuck? Like, nah,
Dude,
bro.
The thing with that is like, all right,
I'm all set.
It's-
I'm outta here.
It's me.
as funny as all this is, as weird as all that is, what happened to these kids when they were like in their development that made them attracted?
A lot of people come from
to that?
fucked up homes.
I think that's what it is.
I feel like
No, they just spend too much time on the Nintendo or something.
When they were, like,
that's
five,
that's
though.
what does
That's
it for
when
them.
they're
Hey,
in
just
your
like,
head.
hey, I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Yeah.
when I watched Kim Possible, Shigo was hot back then. I ain't gonna lie, you know what I mean? Like, you got your weird crushes, cartoon crushes.
yeah, like 7
And it
years
turns-
old.
It
Yeah,
turns into, weird shit over
Well,
time.
dude,
Like,
your childhood's so important with that stuff. Like, what happens to you when you're 4, you probably don't even remember it.
Nah,
It's shit.
definitely.
Yeah, it's
even, I feel like a lot of things is, like, the environment you grow up in.
yeah.
Like, a lot of people, they come up from fucked up pasts that they think it's okay, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, they're away.
people like I'd say dudes like like I said, I went to Providence. A lot of things that I saw was domestic violence
abuse
or
and whatnot,
domestic
yeah.
abuse,
That's
stuff
horrible.
like that. And like I'd say one time me and my buddies are drinking on the stoop, like on the stairs of their frat, whatever.
Sure, yeah.
It's a quiet night, it's Friday, it's kind of shitty weather, it's like sprinkling here and there, so like they want to do an outside event. It's summer, we can't do it outside, it's raining. So we're sitting there drinking on the porch, you know what I mean? Like there's a good like stool, like they got a hammock set up, all that. We're all chilling,
blast.
drinking,
Yeah.
having a blast.
yeah.
Bumping music, not too loud where we're bothering neighbors, but we're having a good time.
for sure.
And all of a sudden you see this like little blonde chick running across the street yelling, "Help me! I need help!" And we're just
no
like,
way.
what the hell? And then you see this just big rip dude, definitely on fucking
On the
steroids.
Steroids. Yeah, he's got a
That's a
needle
whole
hanging
other
out of his
thing.
arm. He's-
Yeah, no, for real. Like, dude shirtless, he's in shorts, he's chasing the chick, like, blah, yelling crazy shit at her. And, we're in a college area. There's cops sitting on every corner. You know what I
they're
mean?
looking
Like,
for this.
so many
they're,
cops.
they're just
and,
making
yeah.
sure, the
Everything's
neighborhood's straight. We're next to, like, the ghetto. Like,
That's
you know what I
tough,
mean?
yeah.
They're there every day. Like, it doesn't matter if it's Tuesday, Monday, Sunday, Saturday, whatever.
Yeah.
They're there. all of a sudden, this dude's like, yo, we got a domestic on, whatever street. So then all of a sudden you see like 6 cruisers pull up and they're like surrounding like a certain area of the house, like not house, but like an alleyway, like,
trying to break it up. Yeah.
trying to figure out what's going on. And obviously dude got arrested.
Damn.
Girl had a couple bruises on her, whatever.
Oh, that's
not really
horrible.
just like hits, but more like, grabbing of the arm, stuff
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah,
So
like the fingerprint. Yeah.
it's definitely, not a great sight to see, but it's real life.
It's what it is, man.
So, people grow up in shitty pasts and they do some fucked up shit and they think it's okay. And,
It's weird how it imprints on your mind, though. Like, people will, number one, they'll block bad memories, and sometimes they'll sexualize bad memories. And that's where that stuff actually will come from, which is super.
It's crazy,
It's
man.
so odd when you think
Crazy.
about it. That's how you defend yourself from it. But it's just super weird.
like,
Yeah.
I've seen friends where like their families, they don't mess with one side of family because of certain things, whether it be like the mess, like their father, is domestic to their whatever, mother, whatever.
Yeah.
And then their older brother thinks it's okay. So that's how they treat their girlfriends too. And, they're the younger sibling, they see it. And they're like, I want to break the cycle. Like, I don't want to be that person. And you know what I mean? It's like, well, you aren't. Like, you treat your girlfriend good. She might be a little shitty herself. She might think she deserves the world or whatever, but you're a good person in general. You know what I mean? You don't put your hands on your woman and stuff like that. And it's crazy seeing how like, some people actually do see their family in their twisted ways and stuff like that and be like, hey, I want to break the cycle. Or
It's
I wanna
their
be
normal,
different.
you know? It's like you said before, what happens when you're 4 years old, you may not remember, but that's with you. That's ingrained.
It's
in your
ingrained,
mind,
and you think it's okay to act.
You
like
think
that,
everybody
and-
does that.
And then,
Absolutely,
and
you
if
know?
you're brought up in a decent household, like all of us here,
Yeah.
you're like, that's not right. Like that's not okay. Like I was brought up taught,
trips a switch.
that's not a good thing to act like.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like you guys are saying, like you're younger, you're brought up that way, and you think it's okay, and that's how you go on with your life. But in society, that's stuff you can get arrested for. You can get actually charged for.
And people, I mean, it's poverty is so difficult because it's so deeply in people. It's not like here's money.
It just brings
You're
out
all
the
set.
monster in people.
No, yeah, money is.
It's not root of evil.
Yeah,
It's
you
not root of
could.
evil.
I mean, with a lot of these communities, right? You could give them all the money in the world, and the same thing's going to keep happening. You have to change the
Behavior
habits
and the culture
of the community. Yeah, the culture.
culture,
Exactly.
which is so that's
Well, the
like,
thing is nowadays, like we were talking about earlier, is everyone's so into like I'm top dog. Like they forget that like some things they do to prove they're top dog is also like degrading not to themselves, but like people they surround themselves with, associate with, and they're just like, hey, like you're supposed to be my boy, and you're acting like that, like
you treat me like dirt so you can look better in front of somebody.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like a girl or a
yeah.
family member, whatever, your dad thinks you're a loser, so you're gonna treat your friend like shit in front of your dad. To, look better, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Like
it's super annoying.
it's more, it's like I feel like that's things with society that like I'll say social media makes okay. That I feel like is not.
Social media is so misleading. I'll be on Instagram and I can't tell you how many. It's basically nudes, right?
Largely
On there, and they're just
fans,
trying.
all that.
They're just trying to get the likes and stuff. And
Yeah.
They want your,
it's a
But like
waste
he
of
was
time.
saying, is like
it's a waste
you're
of
getting
time.
likes by bots.
Yeah.
Those aren't even real people.
Totally possible. Yeah,
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like
especially on
I feel
TikTok.
like a lot of things with society is like a lot of people like. I feel like if you ever seen the movie Blow with Johnny Depp and stuff
I
like
haven't,
that,
but it sounds
No.
awesome.
it's a movie about like selling drugs, stuff like that. That's not the great part. The great part is what the father says to the son, who ends up being the drug dealer or whatever.
Sure.
He's it might pretty much the grass is greener on the other side. Like
100%.
when you're up, it's not as great as it seems, but when you're down, you can't wait to be
You
up.
can't wait
again.
to be up. Yeah, you're chasing it.
And
Yep.
so you're chasing that hype, but once you're up at the hype, people are like, oh, I am the man, or I am that bad bitch, or whatever it is, you know. It's like, yeah, you're top dog in your head, or
George
you know
Foreman.
what your friends say, whatever. But like, what did you waste to get there? You know what I mean? You could have fucked up your future. You could have fucked up friendships with people who are important in your life. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like just that part of society just sucks nowadays because, you know, everyone's trying to be the big bad guy or the big bad bitch or whatever it is.
Yeah, and that ties into social media. Oh, look who I met. Look what I'm doing right now.
All that stuff.
Nobody really cares.
You know, that
nobody
dude
really
might be
cares.
a producer. He might be someone in Hollywood, but he has a drug problem and he's losing his shit.
Well, dude, the people in Hollywood, especially as of late, it's always been
evil.
known. Yeah, they've been ousted as people that are not people
totally
to aspire
disconnected.
For. Well, disconnected, number one, and some of them downright evil. Just evil.
Yeah, they're just evil.
Yeah, like
Just
a Harvey
fucked up,
Weinstein.
No, there's way more than that. Yeah, but that's just that's the tip of it. If we hear about it, that's the that's
I mean, look at all
incredible.
the stuff that was happening over quarantine that we found out with, like, Oprah, John Epstein, all that. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh my God, Epstein Island.
We got cannibals in Hollywood, and we got also demonic, satanic worshipers.
You know what's crazy?
I don't like that stuff. That scares the hell out of me.
Is Alex Jones talked about Epstein Island
like 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Yeah, of course.
Everybody wrote him off. I know he said some crazy stuff that's not true.
Yeah, but that sounds crazy.
He talked about Epstein Island 10 years ago.
Even if you look at Rick and Morty, dude, they had a whole episode about evil Morty torturing Morty's to hide his location. Okay?
Right.
Look at Epstein Island. They tortured children for adrenochrome and shit like that. You know what I mean? Whatever they believe in.
Whatever.
Bill Clinton's down there. He's giving speeches or whatever, getting massages.
That's huge because, you know, I work at Jiffy Lube and, you know, we got a lot of downtime. So, you know, I'm sitting here following that shit. They're like, oh, look this up. All right, bet I'll look it up. And you know what's crazy is the deeper you look into it, the more you're like, holy fuck, like this actually is like pretty realistic.
It's a rabbit hole, man.
You know what I mean?
100%.
Dude, even the rabbit hole, bro, that was a legit thing.
Oh, I was
part of it. No, I'm not even kidding. I know you're just saying that, but like in Central Park over the summer, they were like, oh, why are these big ass white tents up? They found a legit child concentration camp of all that Epstein bullshit. What they were doing is the Clintons were part of it, and what they were doing is they were taking the children and they were bringing them to the harbor through underground tunnels. And the thing is, all those kids are mutated and stuff like that because they haven't seen sunlight in like since they were born, probably. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know.
They've been stuck in cages.
This is getting to some QAnon shit.
Yeah,
this is going QAnon a little bit.
They want a seat in Georgia. They want a seat in Georgia, straight up. They're in the.
What do you mean?
I'd have to look. I think it was.
What do you mean a seat, like in the House, or?
I think it's in the House. I'm pretty sure it is in the House. Look, QAnon Republican want a seat in Georgia.
I don't have the iPad.
I'll look. I'm almost sure.
QAnon. What do you mean? Like someone
who follows that and is part of that and whatnot and believes in all of it want a seat in Georgia. I'll have to look and make sure that
no way. Wasn't Georgia a runoff? They're not going to decide.
No, it wasn't. I have to look at what level of government. It was a local level of government.
You're looking at politicians that are in the office that are part of this bullshit. You know what I mean? Just because of, you know, just like everywhere else, you got different religions and stuff like that and different groups and stuff like that. But, you know, there are really these people who are satanic worshipers. Or,
that's
they
what is it? Those dudes
shit.
in the woods?
Yeah.
What's that called, Brian?
What's that?
Bohemian.
Oh, Bohemian Grove.
Yeah, when they were in the woods, like.
Never heard of that.
Oh my God!
Look it up. It's crazy.
What's his name? Alex Jones snuck in.
That's what I'm saying. Like, all these people in office, like they make it in TV shows like Simpsons, Rick and Morty, all that. Like, they literally show. The thing is with the social media is. They show it to us, so we get not okay with it, but we get used.
We get used to it. Yeah, isn't that messed up?
We're like, oh, okay,
that's messed up.
That's legitly what we're looking at.
So they want a congressional seat in Georgia. That's what I'm talking about.
Congressional seat.
QAnon.
I have to look. Honestly, I'm embarrassed.
QAnon is kind of what you were talking about before. Like that came from QAnon.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if it's true or not. The underground tunnels and stuff.
Yeah,
and
no.
They say Trump is in on it. I don't know about that.
So. It's all these politicians like Hillary, Trump, all that. Like they all fight because they're all from different parties and stuff
Allegedly.
like that.
Yeah.
Allegedly, but there's only two parties.
Yeah,
every
duopoly.
time.
Yeah.
So it's either that's what I'm saying. Which one of the better evil do you want? And that's what that's like what I was following is because, like Oprah, all that they're feeding off the adrenochrome, which is apparently a part of your brain, and so when you get adrenaline and shit like that, you know how you feel like invincible, like I could shoot you and your adrenaline,
you still run away.
It would take 10 minutes. Yeah, it would take 10 minutes for him to feel it if he's
I mean that happened.
So what they do is they torture these people, and that adrenaline starts going, and then the chromosome or whatever in your brain, in the back of your head, what they do is they get the blood from it and they drink it or they eat it, whatever they do with it, and that's supposed to give them the superpower to like live forever. That's your everlasting.
This is some conspiracy theories.
So yeah,
I like this stuff.
This is interesting. It's interesting, man.
So it's stuff like that where they were just like, this is what they do, and that's how like people like Ellen DeGeneres, people Oprah, like stuff like that.
Like what do you do with billions of dollars?
But no, the thing is, look at the Epstein flight logs and shit like that. Like
Bill Clinton,
all these people who are supposed to be part of that, like Jay-Z, Beyonce, all these
it really
high
makes
celebrities.
sense. I mean,
and then they like I said, like social media, the media, all that, whatever TV shows, all that is just like so they can show us, hey, you know what I mean? There's aliens like this year.
Yeah, well, no.
Did you read those articles on CNN?
That was crazy.
CNN, New York Times,
it
Forbes.
Just came out quietly, just
quietly, like,
well, to be fair,
51 articles from, the UFO sightings, aliens, all that.
Aliens, to be fair, it wasn't aliens. They said unidentified flying object.
So what else would that be?
So they didn't specifically say aliens, but they said for at least, I mean, the earliest video was from 2001.
Yeah,
we don't know what this is. We have experts, the people flying. Yeah, they have no idea.
Like over 200 miles per hour this way, stopping and then going 200 miles per hour up in like seconds.
They said it's impossible.
It's impossible because
the people that fly the planes,
as humans, we'd blow up.
I don't know.
Think about it. At 200 miles per hour to a complete stop. You're telling me you're not going through the fucking windshield?
I don't know what I mean? If you showed someone an F8, if you showed someone a fighter jet from like 60 years ago, dude, they wouldn't believe you.
But the people in the fighter jets are saying what's going on? How are they going against the wind?
Probably.
And people in
it's in the video.
Go like faster than the speed of sound, and they're saying they can't stop that fast because no matter what the fuck you got on, your body's still going to be trying to go forward.
I see your point when you're talking about the amount of force that stops, not how fast
not
quickly they stop.
Yeah, I mean, we can go faster than
whatever on, but
doesn't
that
matter.
Force is going to fuck your body up.
Yeah, the G's.
We can go faster than the speed of sound.
Yeah, it's going to kill you.
Right now, we can already go faster than the speed of sound. That's what caused a sonic boom.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is the stopping power.
That's what he's talking. Yeah.
Okay, and against the wind. Remember they were talking about that?
Yep.
It's how are you going? All of that. How are you going 200 miles an hour?
Complete stop and then going vertical. You're not.
Yeah.
You're not, bro. It has to be
I don't know.
something
It's weird.
else.
I feel like
And then also,
who knows?
You know what I mean? Like that's what I'm saying. There's so much crazy shit out there. Like I definitely they just release shit. Like they normalize it to the public
during the coronavirus, where everybody's freaking out.
Even that. Throughout our lifetime, you know what I mean?
It's been leading up to it.
All of a sudden, aliens come out, time travel comes out, all that, and then all of a sudden they're like, "Oh yeah, we can do that.
Yeah,
we can do that."
And Neil deGrasse Tyson has been making fun of everybody.
You just normalize it. So when you do release the information to us, we're like,
"Yeah,
whatever, bro. We've been knowing about that."
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
That's why like Rick and Morty, The Simpsons, all that. They'll normalize like the shit I was talking about with like the adrenochrome and all that shit. They'll normalize it like they did in Rick and Morty.
Put it in the back of your head.
And then they'll be like, oh, yeah, we got people who like...
as you eat mac and cheese and you're watching, they're
just... It's just fucked up.
And then you read it in a Forbes article and you're
like, no way.
Wait a minute, there are UFOs and nobody is talking about it.
Nobody seems to care.
Nobody cares.
Like I was saying that you guys didn't know is like... So during the whole like Clinton scandal, when they were like, "Oh, she has ties with Russia and shit," it wasn't that they were talking about. They're like, "We know that you guys have these underground tunnels and shit like that, where all these children are going missing, all this shit, and they're all showing up to your charity events, stuff like that, and they're going missing afterwards. Where the fuck are they going?
How is that woman a multi-millionaire?
I think one of the most interesting. I watched a video from a guy who's in Mexico who's like it's really interesting videos. I'll have to look up his name and we'll put it, but it's about cartels. And he was talking about how they found a truck that you put seafood in full of dead kids with their organs sorted out.
What?
So I think
Black market bullshit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
so like they would
crazy,
they'd
man.
kidnap kids, kill them, take their organs, and sell them. So
who is they? Are you talking
the cartel?
The cartel? Oh
Yeah.
my
Yeah,
god!
but who do you think is hiring them? Politicians.
Exactly.
And shit.
So
Yeah.
I know when people first hear what you're talking about, it's just like Epstein Island. It sounds so
Insane.
dystopian
It sounds
and
so
stupid.
insane.
10 years ago. Imagine
But
hearing
little
about
did
that
they
10
know.
years
Maybe
ago.
you're right.
With that heart, they're making 38K off.
Oh,
it.
it's more money in that than there is drugs. But I'm just like people that there's a reaction. There's a pullback reaction when you start talking about stuff like that.
people
just
don't
need
wanna
to
hear
be
it.
pushed back.
No,
like, hey,
yeah.
They don't wanna
this
hear
stuff
it,
was
but
real.
this
They don't
is
even
real
want to
life.
look at it,
was
you know?
real. I mean,
This-
yeah.
There's
I don't
secret
know.
wars going on. Dude, human trafficking is a $1 billion industry.
Well, there's things that we'll never. When people say that conspiracies don't exist, Operation Mockingbird, things like that, they are real. The
They're
CIA's
real.
done things that you will never. The common person,
You
no one
won't
knows
be able
about.
to comprehend.
Yeah.
Edward
And
Snowden.
you're like, there's no way we did that. No, we did that.
Yeah, it happened. I mean, some of the
You don't
things
want to think
come out.
about it.
Yeah.
You don't want to. You want to act like it existed, but it happened.
yeah.
And if you don't want to act like it don't happen, then that's on you. But the
But you
world's
can't-
corrupt.
you can't-
You know.
you
deep
can't
down.
100%.
take you over though, because if you all you think about is evil, dark, awful stuff, that's what your mind will be. It will affect you. It will change you, and not in a good way. You know, like
No, of course.
Yeah, no, this is
You
what
can't-
we're seeing this with the 24-hour news cycle. People are going outside and they're going crazy. They're calling it Nazi.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing
You know
is,
what I mean?
The thing that I feel like
Brainwashed.
is that brainwashed in a way, but I feel like the thing is that people like ignore shit, and then they get to a point in their life where they're like, you know what?
Probably
What is
can't.
really going on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
because you're not
And
getting
then
the real
once they
story.
realize what's really going on in the world, besides, what's going on in their day-to-day life, what's going on around them, they're
Yeah.
like, holy shit. Because even, like, close cities like Lawrence and stuff, there's kids going missing every day. Where the fuck you think they're going? They
For
get
real?
shipped to fucking China. They fucking, get killed and get their organs or getting
What?
prostituted,
You
whatever.
think so?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
think
I wouldn't
so.
doubt it, but I've never heard that
The
before.
thing is, I don't doubt it is because, I'm a
It's-
city kid. I have friends who, they're not the greatest people in the world.
China doesn't care
But
about
it's
life.
not them.
Yeah.
They might sell drugs, whatever, or gangbang, whatever. But what their families doing are a little bit older. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You get the he say, she said a little bit of it, and you hear it, and you're like, no way. You know what I mean? Like, I met your uncle. No way he's doing that.
Yeah,
no, he's
yeah.
really doing
No,
that.
100%.
People that are really vulnerable and really poor and having no resources, I think that people undersell just how powerless they are. Like if you go to Mexico and you kill some like farmer's 4-year-old and take his organs, you will not hear about that. The people in the local community will. There is no media there. There is no outlets.
of course.
And
No, I
even
mean, it's the
with
cartel. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot they hide. Money talks.
But I think the people
100%.
fail to take that and place it here. Like, okay, there's
that
video.
happens in Europe. Like they hear like
Yeah.
the movie Taken. They see that and they're like, no way that happens here in the US.
Yeah,
That
you
shit's
want to bet
happening in
money?
Boston,
Yeah.
bro.
I bet you it does.
Yeah. Well, what even things like to me the Craigslist killer. You remember that?
I've heard
Yeah.
about it. I don't know enough
heard
about
about
it.
it.
Even things like that are crazy. If you told somebody in 1930, the concept of internet and how some dude,
Lured
Stop
people.
it.
yeah, literally lured women into a hotel room
Yeah.
and
Which-
did whatever.
Which, when you think about it, is pretty incredible that still works because there's so many stories about women have
But
so
the
much
thing
warning.
is
Yeah.
there's that mindset
Yeah,
that
yeah, they have more to be
Yeah.
afraid about, to be honest.
that
No, they're not-
mindset that,
absolutely.
oh, I'm smart. My mom told me about that story. That's not gonna happen to me.
Yeah, I guess
Nah,
you're right.
You never know.
That dude,
Never
fucking
know.
John that you met down, at the bar. You
yeah.
hung out with him a couple of times. You met his mom, whatever.
It depends on
She
the
don't
person.
care. She's on it too. She's
And-
getting 30K just to help you set it up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and a lot of the stories you don't hear about because they don't have the, you know what I mean? They don't have the story behind them that people care about.
Yeah.
You know, this
There's
happens.
not
This
enough
happens
evidence
every
either.
day.
But
But,
it
if nobody's watching it, then
it happens
they're
to
not
people-
making money off it.
People
So
they don't care. If there's just happening to people that are the lowest of the low in society that nobody cares about, it's not going to make the news.
no, because nobody will
Yeah.
watch.
No,
It's
no one
not
cares.
news. It happens
Yeah.
all the
It's not
time.
that
I'm sure.
It's horrible.
It's sad that it happens because it's people that like their parents don't care. They send them to college just to get them off their back at
Yeah.
home. So the fact that their kids are missing, whatever, they're like, whatever, it's less a burden on me. I got 5 more. That was number 6 out
So-
of 5.
it's so
you know,
crazy.
it's
Yeah.
fucked.
Do you know that channel? It's called Jay Can't Swim. It's like criminal psychology.
I've not heard
This
of
channel has blown up, and they only have 10 videos. It's
it. Really?
insane.
Well,
And this woman, I don't know, allegedly killed her toddler and didn't think twice about it and went to court and everything, was found not guilty,
yeah.
and is
That's crazy.
so crazy how a mother, you know what I mean?
The
Could-
weirdest thing that I think it was great that was in a film, it was Spotlight about the priest that raped the kids in Boston.
Priests, plural.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I know. The whole church was in on it. And it's so like people
Fuck, that's real life.
that's just
Who knows
concrete.
what the Vatican itself
I
is
know
hiding.
we've danced between things that are proved and things that we think could be true. That's 100% true. And if people can't, that's such a
It's
polarity.
just there's less evidence.
How do we not
It's
talk about this every day? You know what I mean?
Like,
It's just
every time you go into church, you should be
But the
thinking.
thing
Yeah,
is,
it's
so this
crazy.
is the thing. So I was with a friend actually yesterday, and they went to New York with their significant other's family, and their significant other family is a Spanish family,
Mhm.
which kind of hit home because obviously I'm Spanish. So like,
Are they also Colombian? Or?
no, they're Puerto Rican.
Oh, okay.
And so what happens is the dad is married to the wife, whatever, but hooks up with the daughter, and the
What?
family's
Very
okay with that.
I don't know.
Wait.
They know about it. They
What do you
know-
mean by family? Like the
Like
The
the
whole
other
f-
sister, the mother, everyone, the grandmother, everyone
that's
knows
absolutely
about it,
disgusting.
but they
Yeah.
hide it and they're okay with it. You know what I mean? Like,
my
like
gosh.
it never happened. Like that's normal.
So they're in denial.
Exactly.
Denial's the word.
They're in
Yeah.
denial, but like they're not. They know it happens.
Sure. Yep.
And the thing is, my friend's coming back, and they come from a normal family. You know what I mean? Like that's not a thing that happens.
Yeah, that's
So
insane.
they're tweaking. They're like, this is something that happens, but like, this is real life stuff that happens
Yeah.
in real life. You know
No,
what I mean?
100%.
Like,
Yeah.
and they're sitting here and they're like, they're talking about it in the car. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? We're just sitting there hanging out, whatever, and they're talking about it in the car, and they're like, oh, no one wants to talk about it. Exactly. Because
it's so.
you know what I
I
mean?
just did
it's
it.
just so messed
Yeah.
up that it's like, you know what I mean? Who wants
yeah.
to talk about it?
No, yeah,
I just had
I-
this exact reaction you said. I just didn't. That's
don't
what
wanna
that's the
talk
normal
about it.
thing.
Yeah,
to
it,
do,
it
though.
happens
Yeah.
so much more
There's
often
just
than
so
we
much.
think. I went to there's like a leadership seminar for
Yeah.
UMass Law or whatever, and I went to it, and this girl went in there and talked about something similar that happened with like an uncle or something, and it's
And the family will be
it's
okay and hide
disgusting.
the person who
Yeah,
doesn't fuck that
exactly.
shit.
And
So never mind like all the other shit that's going on, like sex trafficking and stuff.
oh
like,
my god,
Yeah.
dude,
oh
it's
yeah, I know
horrible.
my
It's-
significant other goes out at night and traps these women or young men, whatever it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they just hide it like it's okay, like like the person shouldn't get locked up for it, and
Yeah.
that's where like society's fucked up. In a sense.
Well, it's people, man. I mean, like
Yeah.
society is a reflection of the people that are in it, but it's people. Like it's incredible how people can
okay,
do
people
that.
do with
Yeah,
stuff.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
and this country is the best as it gets. It is so much worse
Than
in
most
other parts of the
Absolutely.
world, right?
Yeah. No, you're 100% right.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
And
Like-
even
You go to the Netherlands or something like that, people are getting burned in the street for this shit.
I
You
don't
come
know.
here and this is supposed to be the land of the free, land of the brave, whatever the fuck
Yeah.
you want to call it.
Everybody's like, "Oh, this country
This
sucks."
country
Yeah.
is- yeah, it
Compared to
does.
what? You know what I
Dude,
mean?
It's so weird how it's so That's the mainstream narrative. The mainstream position now is that America is awful. You all live here. If it's awful, why you live here? I never understood that.
The thing is I feel like a lot of people, like, as much as it's awful here,
Yeah.
where else is it great?
I guess,
You know what I
are you
mean?
comparing awful to
Like,
then?
what
Exactly,
do
yeah.
they have? What do other countries have to offer?
But
that
what do
we
you,
don't?
why is it awful then? If you call it awful, you need to say what's good.
Yeah, compared to what?
I don't
Oh, you're
understand.
talking about
Like,
a country.
I understand
and-
it's not perfect.
Yeah.
But
I'd have a perfect one.
what's
The
that?
fucking Netherlands.
The,
Perfect.
I don't know. Maybe.
I feel like they're great. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there are countries in Europe that are,
It's pretty great.
you know, most of the people are riding
Then
bikes and
there's
stuff.
Slovakia,
and-
where everyone's prostituting and shit. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
but a lot.
Balkans are a
I
different
mean,
place.
think about it.
Balkans are a different place. Yeah. I don't.
They're relying off of our military, right? Because if the U.S. military didn't exist, how many people would
we're definitely top 3.
be
military.
speaking?
Oh, we're number one
Yeah, how many
military.
people would be speaking
Yeah.
Russian, Mandarin? You know what I mean? These.
We speak all different languages with different specialists we got and all that. So
The U.S. military is absolutely insane. The fact that it's in
The most advanced.
we're in like we're everywhere. We're everywhere
we're
all the
everywhere.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's why people won't nuke us. Like, you know, and people would definitely kill us if they had the chance. You know, it's
Well,
the fact
a
that,
nuke would end
you
the
know,
world.
Well,
you know?
yeah, that's
It would
everyone
crust
does.
over the
Well, we're the only country that's dropped nukes before. Think about it, really.
Hiroshima and
You know what I
Nagasaki,
mean?
two goes. That was enough. Well,
Was that a hydrogen
other
bomb?
countries have dropped nuke, but only in test sites, like in the Russian.
Yeah, no,
you
I
know,
mean, like,
well,
literally,
yeah.
like, hey, you know,
like I'm gonna kill people.
But that was
fuck your
hydrogen bomb,
country,
right?
I'm just dropping shit.
I'm dropping this on a city
Yeah.
with hundreds of
Yeah.
thousands of people.
I don't know if
Or
it's true,
whatever.
but like my 11th grade history teacher said that Japan or whatever wanted a treaty or it
they wanted a
didn't
treaty
get
and
through
we
or something,
were
so we just
nah.
dropped.
It was a treaty,
whatever.
they wanted it, and we were like, fuck you. You wanted to bomb Pearl Harbor. We're going to drop it on your 2 most popular cities, and that's it.
Well, I heard that
Yeah.
the U.S. military allegedly claimed that they did not hear about the
Yeah, of
treaty
course they didn't
until
hear about
3
shit,
days
but
after 2.
In general, I feel like it was, you know, a statement like, fuck you. Like,
It was a
wanna-
message. Yeah.
It was a message to the rest of the world, like, you want to fuck with us, we'll actually drop the bombs. We're not just threatening you like North Korea.
Does it scare you that a person like Joe Biden has those codes?
Not at all.
No,
Honestly,
that doesn't
no.
scare you.
He's
nothing.
soft.
Nothing really scares me
Trump
anymore
was probably
with
more
that.
scary.
Well,
A little scary, definitely.
but the thing with that is
Because Trump was bullying North Korea at that point and was like, you know, test us. We got bombs in Turkey, blah, 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 wherever the fuck else near.
Rocket Man, he would call him or whatever. Yeah, it's
It was like, you guys talk a lot of shit, flex a lot of bullshit, but at the end of the day, you know, because the Germans were like that, but they were actually about it. You know, they're like, all right, we're invading all these countries, you know. But
oh my god, like it was nothing.
yeah, World War II was crazy. It was like a Greek
Verse,
poem.
like, but-
yeah,
I mean, North Korea, I feel like they just know, like, at this day and age, like, with all, like, you know, the treaties and bullshit going on, all the different types of alliances, that if they start with anybody, you know, any type of war could go on, you know, like, they saw what happened
Yeah.
to the Germans. Like, yeah, they might have had a good first push, but the second part of the war
Yeah.
is a push backwards, and you're getting fucked in the ass, and you're spread out too thin, and, you know.
it was bad.
They probably
Yeah.
learned from the Germans, you know, like if we
Yeah.
start a war, like we're fucked.
Germany's embarrassed of Hitler. I think they've actually banned
They have,
the Nazi flag
banned
in
it.
their country.
they
They're
banned all
embarrassed
that.
of.
Yeah, they're
yeah.
embarrassed of the party, but you know,
It was that is one of the most interesting periods in history. Absolutely, unquestionably.
Can you imagine
Yeah. Yep. World War
Oh,
II.
no.
having a code on your arm just
Yeah.
because you're a certain follow a
It
certain
could happen
faith
here.
or
It
you're-
could. We could split. Those
it
lines still
could happen
exist.
into that. Our
Authoritarian,
country could even drop
socialism,
into
communism.
that.
It could
You
happen.
blue or
again.
red, you know? What
Damn.
party you part of?
Just a
Um,
different way.
But dudes, it's 12:30. We've gone
Yeah.
2 hours and 20 minutes.
That's long enough.
Yeah.
We're gonna wrap it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. We touched upon
Kyran,
some,
where can people find you if you want? Instagram. Twitter.
You could find me on Instagram at, I'll tell you in a sec.
yeah, we definitely use these questions, huh? Yeah.
It's more of a backup. I
Oh
mean,
yeah, I know. Well, we'll explore the dollar store another time.
You can follow me on Instagram at my_name_is_Kai22.
There it is, folks. Any last words from anybody?
Oh boy,
Just
who knows?
can't wait to be on the next one.
Can't
Yeah, there's definitely going to be a next one. This is a good
It was
one.
a fun ride. I can't
Time
believe it's been that
flied.
long. It's been 2 hours.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
We could keep going.
All right. Yeah, no,
We're gonna cut it.
All right. See you, everybody.